What's going on, everybody? Welcome to semi-final day for the men. We had awesome semi-finals yesterday. Two crazy matches. One went, they both went the distance, but yesterday's semi-finals for the ladies was incredible. We've got the final for the ladies tomorrow, but the men's semi-finals, well, this one's definitely the one that everybody's talking about, right? The next one, Sinner FAA, I don't think we know what Felix is going to do, right? We're a little bit, maybe a bit worried about how good Sinner has been and what that's going to look like. But that's coming up in 4 hours. We'll watch that later. But Djokovic, Alcaraz, right? They played 8 times. They're not going to play that many more times. You know, they barely played in the last 12 months. They played the Australian Open. This year was the last time they played. And every time they play, it's a massive occasion because it's the guy that was the greatest of the last generation, Djokovic, and possibly one of the great, well, he's already one of the greats of the next generation, but might be the greatest of the next generation in 10, 15 years when we look back and we're like, I remember those times when Djokovic and Alcaraz played, and look what Alcaraz went on to do, and Djokovic obviously has done all what he's done. These are the big matches. These are the really important ones for history. They're historic. All these matches are historic. And then, like I said, we've got Sinner coming up later, but how we're doing? What's going on? Are we ready? Are we ready? It's going to be a big day. It's going to be an intense day. Now, for those who are wondering, are we going to watch Eala? I know there's people that have been asking. Yes, we will be watching that. That will be coming on, but I'm going to say this because I know that, just so that you don't get your hopes up, I will be focusing on Djokovic versus Alcaraz. That is the focus. That is what we're going to be looking at mostly, right? But yes, for the Eala fans, we will be keeping an eye on her semi-final matchup today as well. So that's what we're going to be up to. Unfortunately, they collide, but hey, I don't make the schedule. We're going to just do what we do. But yeah, and also, by the way, doubles just happened. I was watching a little bit of the doubles before, and Townsend and Siniakova lost in straight sets, which was a little bit of a shock, even though they lost to the number 3 or number 4 seeds, right? But still, it was like the best team lost, and it was a bit of an upset in the doubles. So there you go. So the doubles champions for the ladies are, I'll make sure I get the names right because I don't want to mess this up. The ladies doubles champions are Dabrowski and Routliff, number 3 seeds. They took out Pellini and they took out Pellini and Irani, and they took out the number 1 seeds too. So they had a really good run. I don't know if there's their first slam or not, but yeah. And then the men's doubles final, I think, is tomorrow, and it's between the number 5 and number 6 seeds. So we'll keep an eye on those results as well because the mixed doubles has already been done. That happened like 3 years ago now. So yeah. But how are we doing, chat? What's going on? Are we ready for a day of madness? This is going to be a day of madness. Yesterday, especially that Pegula match. That Pegula versus Sabalenka match was all time. Like, that was one of the best that we've watched all year. The quality was high. And it's funny watching Pegula in the press conference afterwards. She did not look that bothered because, and she even joked about it, how she lost 4 points on her serve in the last set and still lost. She obviously was disappointed, but it wasn't like devastating because she played really well, and she's got to feel pretty happy about the level that she was playing. But Sabalenka, Jesus, it was crazy. And then Anisimova, of course, beating Osaka. And Osaka seemed pretty chill in the press conference too, which was nice. She didn't seem too beating up herself too much. So yeah, it was nice to see even though the players that lost, they didn't seem super unhappy with how they played. So I mean, that shows how good the matches were. That even the runners up of those matches were not super disappointed in their performance. So what's my prediction? I don't know. What did I say in the preview? I made a video about it. I remember. I think I said Alcaraz in 5, maybe. I can't remember. This is going to start in about 20 minutes. A little worried because I have money on Sabalenka. Fair enough. Alcaraz only loses a set. 7-5 or 6-4 or 7-6, you reckon? Okay. Novak in 3. What do you guys think? What's up with the board? We've got Eala's matches coming on soon as well, so we're going to chuck that on when it comes on as well. Cam is waiting 5-set epic. I said 4, Alcaraz 4. Yeah, okay, yeah, I'll stick with that. It's so hard to like no one's been able to get a set off Alcaraz, right? And he hasn't played, Djokovic type players yet. But if anyone's but how do you? He hasn't lost a set, and he hasn't looked like losing a set, which for Alcaraz at this point in a tournament is kind of rare. We're used to seeing him like drop a set or have a bit of a close, unexpected close, contest somewhere or something happens. But when we get to this stage, Alcaraz has never been this good, which is scary because he's already very good. So I think he drops a set. It would be kind of crazy if he won in straights. I think that'd be pretty impressive. And Djokovic has looked fine too. I mean, Djokovic hasn't looked. Yeah, he's looked a little fatigued. Yeah, he's looked a little bit sore. But overall, Djokovic has looked. He's been okay. I mean, he's been good for somebody who didn't play between now and Wimbledon. Like he's been solid. But I don't know if he hasn't been as impressive. So it's hard to. If he demolished Fritz, I would have been like, okay, maybe Alcaraz needs to worry. And if Alcaraz had a tougher matchup beforehand, maybe I would have gone a bit closer. But I'll give Djokovic a set. But I mean, Alcaraz should win, right? Hey, Tihana, thank you for the 40 months. Appreciate that. Thank you for the 40 months. Novak's in Carlos's head. I mean, that's the head-to-head is the only thing that like. Beside everything else aside, what's happened this week, Djokovic has the head-to-head at the end of the day, right? So the head-to-head is 5-3 in favor of Djokovic. When they first played, it was in Madrid 2022. Carlos's breakout. He beat Nadal as well that week and won the title. It was amazing. Carlos Alcaraz in 2022 Madrid. If you remember, you remember. 5-3 setter there. Then Djokovic at the French Open the year after. So it took 12 months between matches. And then, of course, that was the famous cramp incident where Alcaraz won the second set, but then his legs fell off in the third, and he couldn't run. Then Wimbledon 2023 happened, and that was epic. That was by far their best match they've ever played. One of the greatest Wimbledon finals we'll ever see, and it was Alcaraz who got the win, won his first Wimbledon. Then they went and played Cincinnati a couple weeks later in 2023, and that was just as good. It was crazy epic. Championship points saved by Djokovic. He wins the match. And Alcaraz says Spanish never die, right? That's one of his famous quotes. Then they went and played the ATP finals. That was probably their worst matchup they've ever played because it was a straight sets win for Djokovic. In the semis, Alcaraz, didn't really put up a fight that time. But that was the only match that's kind of been bad out of this head-to-head. Then they went to Wimbledon the next year. Djokovic had the knee issues. He goes to the final, fights his way into that final. But Alcaraz too good, gets it done in straights. Then the Olympic final. Gold medal match, Djokovic trying to complete everything that could be done in tennis. Alcaraz trying to win the gold for Spain. He was on a massive win streak. He was the man who was going to win the whole thing. And then Djokovic wins it, steals it off him, and completes tennis. And then, of course, at the start of the year, Djokovic loses the first set in Australian Open quarterfinals. Something happens to his leg, and then somehow he comes back and wins, even though Alcaraz... I mean, look, that was a weird one in Australia because Alcaraz played a really good first set, and then Djokovic's leg just kind of let him down. But then Alcaraz wasn't ruthless enough. He let Djokovic back in, and we know that Djokovic can win titles with injury. We know that he knows that. He should have known that. So I don't think he's going to make that mistake if that happens. Anything like that happens today. If Djokovic has any sort of issues, which I don't think he does. He looks pretty fit this week, except for the little bit of a couple of medical timeouts on some. It didn't look like an injury, but on some sore bones after not playing for weeks. But yeah, that was an impressive win by Djokovic. And then, of course, all the things after that, he didn't really have an injury, and then he retires against Zverev to show that, yeah, he had an injury. And then makes it more impressive how good he was because he was able to beat Carlos, but then unable to play in the next match fully against Zverev. So, yeah, crazy rivalry. It's been a crazy rivalry. Been a crazy rivalry, and I just love it. And then, of course, the winner of this will play either Sinner or Auger-Aliassime. Guadalajara is sad. Not much people at the semi-finals. That's because it's a challenger event. And they've got the real event next week, or the big event next week. So maybe people don't realize it's on. So it's a challenger event. This is a normal crowd for a challenger. There's usually no crowds. I see Djokovic winning this in 4. Look, out of the 2 matches, obviously this one is the closest one, right? This is definitely obvious. This is the one that we could, like, Djokovic could win this one for sure. FAA beating Sinner is much less likely, right? So if we're going to get an epic, this is the one out of the two that we should see as an epic, right? But I know we all want to see, like, a lot of people want to see Alcaraz, right? Because we have seen Djokovic versus Sinner a couple of times already this year, and it just hasn't been as good as Alcaraz. I mean, nothing's as good as Alcaraz right now, but Djokovic and Sinner have played a bunch, and it just, like, Djokovic hasn't even got a set, and it's like, oh man, yes, he's been, sore in those matches. The French Open, he came in, put up a really good fight, but then the Wimbledon match, he didn't look like he was able to run. But I could see Djokovic, beating Alcaraz to get to that final. So we'll see. We'll see. Look, to be honest, if FAA makes the final, as much as I love Felix, I think that the winner of this match will win against Felix, right? But if we say Sinner's in the final, if we just put Sinner in the final, automatically, Alcaraz is the match, right? Imagine they play 3 Grand Slam finals together in a row. That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy, right? What a crazy thing to do. I mean, I'm going to guess it's probably Nadal Djokovic the last time that happened, but man, that's crazy. All right, well, Vardy just won, which means Eala's going to start right on time. Of course they're going to start at the same time. This is exactly what was supposed to happen. Carlos will win easy in 3. I'll tell you this. I know that Sinner's probably the slight favorite to win the championship, still just in front of Alcaraz, right? Who's probably, probably very close, but I'd say Sinner's still in front. But if Alcaraz wins in straights and Sinner loses a set today, you got to think Alcaraz is the favorite. Coming to the final without losing a set, and the fact that he can beat Sinner, and we've seen him beat Sinner, and his head-to-head and all that stuff, you would think that whoever does the easier job today would be the favorite. If it's between Sinner and Alcaraz, right? If they both win today. Whoever wins, if they both win in straights, which would be very disappointing because I don't want to have 2 easy wins. It'd be a bit boring. I think if they both win in straights, then maybe it's a 50-50 in the final. But yeah, I think if Alcaraz does win in straights and Sinner loses a set, then Alcaraz the favorite. He's got to be the favorite. Just to remind people, Alcaraz has never beaten Nole on a hard court. Ooh. All right. There you go. Who you reminding, me or them? Which one? You're reminding all of us? Who's saying that to? That sounded directed to somebody. What are you saying? Forgetting that Alcaraz got him in Cincy? Yeah, but even Alcaraz doesn't consider that a win. Like, he doesn't even think that, like, that was, like, he's not going to go to the final against Sinner and be like, yeah, I just beat him. It's like, he's going to remember that he lost at Wimbledon. I don't think Cincinnati final is going to count for either of them. I don't think either of them are going to be really that, like, taking that seriously, Hey, Tiana, yes, we got to 265. I don't know. I don't even know what happened. Recently in matches, Alcaraz only beat Djokovic over 5 sets of Wimbledon. Okay. True. I mean, they've played 8 times, and 2 of the matches out of those 8 have gone to Alcaraz on grass. It is weird because, yeah, you're right. They played 3 times on hard courts, and they've all gone to Djokovic. The ATP Finals in 23, I don't even remember that match. It was so boring. It was so one-sided. Maybe it's because, maybe the reason why it was so one-sided was, one, because Djokovic at 2023 was crazy. Remember, he was still at the peak of his powers. And then also the fact that Alcaraz on indoor courts at the end of 2023, he hadn't quite figured it out yet. He's sort of figured it out this year a little bit, but you could say that maybe the indoor courts weren't in favor of Alcaraz, right? Cincinnati was a 50. I mean, that was so close, so you can't really, you can claim victory, but it's also like, Alcaraz was there. It wasn't easy. And then the Australian Open was just so strange because it was just Djokovic doing the impossible, right? Ripping his leg off and then winning anyway, and then Alcaraz wasn't expecting that, I guess. I guess, he got kind of like fooled to thinking that like injured Djokovic means I win. And that's not true at all, because look at all the times that Djokovic has been injured and won, in crazy matches. So it's going to be interesting, this one. This one is going to be interesting. Yeah, he did win Rotterdam this year, Alcaraz. But in 2023, there was, even he probably thought, yeah, okay, indoor courts are not what I like so much. But his serve's gotten bigger. He's gotten better, in that way. And he won Rotterdam, of course. So, but yeah, in 2023, Alcaraz was still like not good on indoor courts, right? But that's changed now. If they played again in the indoor courts, I'm sure things would be different. All right. But here we go. They will come out on court in 10 minutes, and we will be ready to fly. If it wasn't Alcaraz, Djokovic would probably be winning slams at 40. Yeah, I mean, if you look at, yeah. I mean, yeah. Because Sinner's stopped him lately. Obviously, Alcaraz has stopped him as well at the slams. Yeah. I mean, Djokovic would probably have more slams. Yeah, for sure. If they went around. Sinner versus Alcaraz final. Who do you think the winner? If it happens, who do you think the winner is? I don't know. It depends on these matches. Like I said earlier, it depends on this. I think. I think if Alcaraz wins in straight sets and Sinner loses a set against FAA, probably leaning Alcaraz. But if they both win comfortably, then maybe Sinner has the edge. Just, again, Sinner's... Alcaraz has played really well, right? But Sinner has played, like, unnecessarily ridiculously good. Bublik match, Sinner was just like... What? Like, he was overpowered. Like, he didn't need to play that good. But we haven't seen peak Alcaraz yet this week. He's been... and that's scary, right? Because, like, Alcaraz has been... He's been kicking everyone's ass. He's been winning in straight sets, but we haven't seen his best yet. He hasn't played his best yet. He's been playing really well, serving great, but he's still got room to be even better. Whereas we've seen like the best of Sinner. So if we're basing it off that, the best of Sinner, especially the Bublik match, was insane. If that guy plays the Alcaraz we've seen so far, then Sinner probably wins. But Alcaraz is not going to be that guy. He's going to be better than he has. He's won every set, but he still has room, like I said, room to improve, room to be better. He's going to go up if Sinner's up to here. He's going to go up to here, right? So, again, this is where we're going to hopefully see peak Alcaraz, like what we've seen with Sinner on the other side. And then we can judge, okay, well, does that Alcaraz beat the Sinner we've seen? Like, then we're going to have fun comparing that, right? Carlos has smoked everyone? Yeah, he has. You're exactly right. But if you smoke Djokovic that way, then we can compare. We can compare. I feel like it's not fair to compare them because Sinner's been playing at like 100% level at the last couple of matches, and Alcaraz has not had to play at that level yet. Like, he hasn't been forced to play. Like, yes, he's beaten everybody in straight sets, but I'll take it. But he hasn't had to he hasn't had to be pushed to that limit yet. Whereas Sinner hasn't been pushed either, but he's, for some reason, just went, you know what? Bublik, you're never going to beat me again. Like, I don't know. It was so confusing why Sinner went so crazy on Bublik. He didn't need to. It's like, you could have just won 4-4-4, but he decided to put a foot down. Whereas, yeah, Alcaraz hasn't been forced to play that level yet. But today will be the day. I mean, Djokovic's going to make him play. So if we can judge at the end of the day, go, okay, well, what does this... If Alcaraz beats Djokovic, does that guy beat the Sinner that we've seen, right? Sinner would beat Nole if not even close. Yeah. I mean, maybe Djokovic wins a set, but again, it's hard to say that Sinner's going to lose to Djokovic after we've seen what their head-to-head looked like over the last couple of years, right? Now is the time for revenge for Carlos. Yeah, I mean, he is the favorite. I'm looking at the odds. He is definitely the favorite. And should be the favorite. They're coming out on court in about 10 minutes. At the presser after the last match, Joker said he won't know how fresh he will be for the match, even after 2 days rest. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, fair enough. He's 38. He's not going to bounce back as quickly as he did. Now it's going to take time. And we've seen that. You said that Osaka, we'll see. About what? Well, sorry. So Osaka loses. She gets 3 points within victory, loses in a close 3-setter, and now it's like. Now. What about when I picked Sabalenka in 3? What are all the other times that I got something right? On hardcourt, Djokovic is better. Well, yeah, in history, yeah, but let's see. Let's see if today Djokovic is better. All right. And as fate would have it, we're going to kick off the doubleheader. Now, all right. So Eala versus Day is also happening at the same time. All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. We've got semifinals of the US Open, and we've got semifinals of Guadalajara. Now, I mentioned this earlier that we are going to be focusing on the US Open. So we will be keeping an eye on Eala because she's been playing really well this week. It's fun to watch, and she never disappoints. It's always an interesting match. But Djokovic Alcaraz is also... And also, I'm hoping that those who are watching Eala and who've come here for Eala, now you're going to watch Djokovic Alcaraz too, because I'm going to be talking about that. So hopefully those who maybe are new to tennis through the Philippines or otherwise, because of Eala, maybe now you can also dip your toe into the ATP as well. At least that's what I hope. But yeah, Djokovic Alcaraz. By the way, packed stadium, roof's open. It's looking crazy. It's going to be crazy. This is going to be a crazy day. The match is never bad, except for that one time that it was bad. So yeah, it's going to be a whole thing. Should this be night? This should have been the night session, yeah, in hindsight. But the reason why it's not the night session is because of the scheduling was, these guys played got an extra day off, so that's why the night session is where it is. Yeah, I was hoping for a night session. Yeah, I mean, Sinner versus FAA. Yeah, I mean, maybe that match is interesting. I don't know. Maybe that match is better than this match. It's hard to see that, but I mean, Felix is such a big underdog against Sinner. But yeah, he has got a 2-1 head-to-head. But the last time they played was very. I mean, we watched it. It was hard to watch. It wasn't the greatest FAA performance. You moved your couch to the opposite side? Did I? Probably. My heart is split. I love them both. Yeah. I like Sinner. I think Sinner's going to roll FAA. Yeah, I'm a little nervous for Felix. But then again, it's like, well, Demonor lost to Felix, so would Demonor have done much better? I doubt it. Over the history, we know that Demon's not been great against Sinner, so it's hard to know. It's like, who would have been the better person to play? I mean, it's like FAA is probably gonna maybe produce a better matchup, but it's like, well, it's Jannik Sinner, so there's not too many players that can match him at the moment. The only two guys that can are the guys on the other half of the draw, which are playing right now. It's 11 minutes to... it's going to come on in like the next 10 minutes. Do you think Carlos or Novak will win? I think Carlos will win in 4. Based on this week and recent weeks, then yeah. Alex would have lost to Sinner in 3. Yeah, and that sucks because I love Demonor, but yeah, I'm also realistic that I'm not delusional that I know that he just doesn't. It's a terrible matchup, Hey, Polis. Thanks for coming back for another month. Appreciate that. By the way, chat, let me know where you're watching from. I'm in Melbourne. It's 5 a.m. Oh, by the way, I went to the thrift yesterday. Little personal story before we get started. I went to the thrift store yesterday and I was like, you know what? I'm probably not going to find anything. Actually, I'll tell you later. South Africa, we've got Los Angeles, India, London, Toronto. We've got California. We've got Norway, Georgia, Los Angeles. A lot of people from India in the chat. What's up? What time is it in India? It must be like 2 a.m. or something, right? We've got Bangladesh. We've got Germany, Dallas, Philippines, New York City. We've got Pakistan. We've got Cincinnati. We've got Melbourne. We've got Wales. We've got Argentina in the house. We've got Croatia, Taiwan, Miami. We've got Virginia. We've got Sweden. We've got Orlando. We've got the West Philippines. Okay. We've got Charleston. We've got Bangladesh. Egypt in the house. Belgrade in the house. It's 12. Oh, it's just past midnight in India. Okay. Still not. Still late. Still not an easy. There you go, Deb. Not an easy time to stay awake. A lot of people from the UK. Love that. Salt Lake City, Afghanistan, Morocco. We've got Nigeria, Ireland. We've got Scottsdale. We've got Algeria, Thailand. Nice. All right. So I went to the thrift. And I talked about this on the channel the other week. That I saw these like really cool like early 2000s like retro looking what were they? They're like a CD display like holder, right? They hold CDs. I was like, oh man, they're like $80, right? And I was like, I'm not going to buy one. And I went to the thrift yesterday. I was like, you know what? I'm not really expecting to get anything. You know, it's late on a Friday. You know, there's probably nothing cool here. I'll just see if I can find a movie or something. I found 5 movies, including Jackie Brown that I haven't seen. Tarantino, Jackie Brown. So I'm excited to watch that. But as I was walking past the window, I saw this. 3 of these. 3 of these. I've been looking, well, not even looking for these. I found this and I was like, online, I was like, no, I'm not going to spend $80 for this thing. This was 15, but it was full of CDs. I had 3 of these full of CDs. $15 each. And I'm like, I just want this. The CDs, I don't care what's in them. Just give me this. It's a CD holder. So you put your CDs in there, but I'm going to use it for DVDs. So I'm going to put all my DVDs in here and I've got 3 of these. I love this. When I saw this, I was like, oh my God. I love it. It's called a pod, and it's just like 2000s. It's got that like bubble effect, which is like the 2000s. Oh, I love it. Love it. So good. And it had, any interesting CDs? It had like Rod Stewart. It had like a whole bunch of like, mainly like, I guess sort of like 70s, 80s kind of pop. It was, I can't believe it. And I picked up all 3, and they're all in really good condition. They just had a little bit of like marker on the front of it. It was a great day. Great day. Just a great day. And I picked them up and I said, I can just go home now. I just think I can go home. And I went home and then I went to sleep. You have a nostalgia problem? Problem? I don't think it's a problem. I had to put you on mute. When you talk about tennis, let me know. You should leave. Because you're going to be muting a lot. So good. Yeah, it was $15 a piece, but the CDs inside alone, because it holds 60 CDs. So what's that, 180 CDs? So I got a bunch of free media as well. Crazy. So that's my show and tell. What have you brought to the chat? Let me know your show and tell. Have you got anything to show, or do you live in a white box with nothing on the walls? Like, do you live in a empty house? Like, what do you show? What do you have? Especially that guy who said, let me know when you're talking about tennis. Do you live in a minimalist house with a couch? With no couch. You sit on the floor? You don't even have a TV. You just have a phone. A phone and an empty box. I have a bike to show. Nice. I buy F1 models for my house. Yes. It's not hoarding. It's collecting. By the way, Eala's got down break point already. 30-40. We're not hoarders. We're collectors. And if anybody says otherwise, they're just jealous. You're jealous. You're just jealous of my collection. Big.
Here comes what I get for 3 years of membership. Joy, joy, joy.
Thank you for the 3 years. Appreciate that. You get my appreciation. Polis.
Come if Noel beats Alcaraz and Sinner in 5-set epic matches to win his 25th Grand Slam. That means he is the greatest athlete of all time.
I mean, yeah, is that even disputable? I don't think there's even a disputable, right? I mean, he is the greatest of all time. I don't think that's even up for debate. But if he does do that, it would just add to his legacy for sure. And if anyone could do it, he can, right? If anyone in the history of sports is going to do it, it's him. Thank you for the 5. And yeah, thank you, Big Wolf, for the 3 years. I'm wanting to do more members only stuff in the future. So as a 3-year member, you will be a part of that. So I appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around. All right, Deuce here, first game. Djokovic about to walk out. He's talking to James Blake. Eala's got advantage. I'm not showing the game. That's illegal. I'm sorry. I wish I could. If I could, I would go back to bed, but I can't. Vinyls are the best. Yeah, a lot of people collect vinyls. I feel like that's a slippery slope if I get into it, so I'm going to just click CDs, which are cheaper. They're cheaper. Hey, Perk, thanks for the 14 months. Appreciate that. He said athlete, not tennis player. I mean, again, is that even up for debate? Tennis is the most physical, demanding sport. He's 38 years old and he does it by himself. You can be a 40-year-old athlete on the bench in a team sport. Like, I don't even think it's up for debate, right? You can be a 50-year-old boxer, but it's like, but if you have the power, you can still box, right? I mean, with tennis, you can't afford to be. Yeah, you can maybe have a big serve and get away with that for till 45 or 40, but not Djokovic doesn't have that. So I don't even think that's up for debate. I mean, you tell me, who is the greatest athlete of all time if it's not Novak Djokovic? Like, I don't think he's even up for debate. I don't even think it's even a question. Hey, Brandon and Quindrith, thanks for becoming members. Appreciate that. Welcome. Don't forget to join the Discord if you are a member. Join the Discord. All right, they're walking out on court. Alcaraz in the pink. And I think Djokovic is in the white outfit as Day hits a forehand to the forehand of Eala. Forehand from Day goes long and it goes in. Day breaks. All right. That sounds weird. All right, start making the puns. Go on. Day with the break, 1-love against Eala. Ronaldo? Michael Phelps? Okay, good answers. I still think Djokovic, though. I'm still saying Djokovic is the greatest athlete of all time. I mean, again, they're great athletes, but I mean, if Ronaldo needs to take a break, he can sit on the bench for, he can come into the game halfway through. I mean, there's Djokovic, if he doesn't play, then he doesn't play. Like it's all on him, right? I mean, Phelps is a good answer. It's hard to say, well, not Phelps because okay. But how old was Phelps when he won his gold medals at the end, last gold medal? How old was he? Usain Bolt's another good answer. Yeah. Olympic athletes are definitely on the list. That's a bet way more. I can. Anyone who's playing a team sport, I'm not saying they're not a great athlete, but when it's an individual sport, it's different. Like you have to be. You have to be on the court. You can't ride the bench. You can't take a break. You have to play. Ledecky, okay. Bolt and CR7, okay. some Tour de France guys. Well, if you can't name them, then we can't talk about them. You got to give me a name. You can't just be like, someone who rides a bike. Okay. Who, though? Which one? All right. They're just about to warm up. And then we're about to get this show on the road. That's right, Deb. Don't stress too much about them. I'll put the slow mode on, so maybe you stick to the Djokovic Alcaraz thing. I'll pick them off if they're in the Eala match. I bet Novak serves well. Okay. Well, so this is the thing, chat. Right? We have not seen Alcaraz be tested yet. Right? Actually, no, I want you to tell me, because the only time he's been broken, I think he got broken once against Adiri, right? Other than that, I haven't seen him tested. Which is a rare, because usually we're like, oh, remember when Fanini did this, or, so-and-so did this. This year, it gets to this point, and we've got one match we can go, well, oh man, if Alcaraz is not doing that great like that match, but he hasn't had any reason to even doubt Alcaraz, right? But if he is tested in this match, how's he going to react? How will he respond? That will be the question. If Djokovic wins the first set, or Djokovic, gets to a lead, that's unfamiliar territory for Alcaraz this week. How's he going to respond? That's what I want to see. I don't know the answer, but I'm interested to see how he does. Lehečka didn't do much wrong. Lehečka played well, but again, Alcaraz didn't really seem bothered. You don't think this goes more than 3 hours? Okay. 30-all, by the way. Day serving with a break as Eala returns. And it goes long. 40-30. The most athletic and best athletes plays basketball. Yeah, but is basketball more taxing than tennis? That's what I come back to. Which match had the most viewers of this US Open? I don't know. Maybe Osaka and Islamova, maybe yesterday? Yeah, so Djokovic is wearing the light blue in the daytime. He wears the black at night. For those who are wondering, why is he not wearing black? Because it's during the day. And he has two different outfits, just like Alcaraz wears pink in the day and wears like red at the night, or dark brown. What is it? Like a red-brown at the night? So yeah, so it's because of the best players in the world have a different outfit depending on the day or night sessions. That's just how it is. He is Batman, yeah. He wears a Batman costume at night, just like the real one. During the day, this is Bruce Wayne, right? This is Bruce Wayne wearing the blue, and then when he gets to the night session, when the sun goes down, then Batman comes out, right? That's how it works, right? That's what it is, right? Let's see if Bruce Wayne, though, can beat Alcaraz. Well, that's a weird... Nobody's ever said that before, right? That's the first time anybody has said that sentence. All right. Djokovic will serve first, by the way. Alcaraz is Magneto? A little bit. It definitely got Magneto vibes. With the pink and the purple and the reddish colors. All right. Eala's down 2-love already, by the way. She is in trouble. But she hits a lovely winner there. 30-love. 30-love. Who said that Sinner got injured and pulled out? People have just been silly. If something happens, I'll let you know. So if it doesn't come from, like, I know the people in the chat that are gonna, if anything like that was real, would let me know, and I trust. But if I don't read it out or I don't respond to it, then it's probably a fake. So please don't be that person, because that person has no friends, and we're trying to be friends here. We're all friends here. Please don't mislead everybody. It's not fun. We're trying to have a fun day. Not many players can pull off the pink and purple besides Rafa and Carlos. True. I mean, okay, Rafa was infamous for it, right? He rocked the pink at all times of his career. Who else is where? I mean, I feel like Tiafoe and Runa have and rocked the colors over the time. Shelton. Oh yeah, Shelton rocked the pink, didn't he? With the on. Agassi definitely could. He was the original, right? He rocked the pink back in the day when everybody wore the same outfits, pretty much. So you're right. Yeah, Agassi was the original with the fluoro and the mullet. Oh, that was a vibe, and the denim shorts. Like that was a whole thing. Federer wore pink in Canada 2010, did he? I can't remember. Yeah, Federer did wear some bright outfits. They did chuck him in some bright ones. But yeah, you're right. Alcaraz seems to be the guy who rocks the pink. Alcaraz needs to put his respect for Djokovic aside, or he will fall to Djokovic's tactics. I mean, maybe. I mean, I feel like this week, Alcaraz hasn't seemed to be... Again, Alcaraz hasn't shown any signs of not being savage this week, right? He has not been... he's been nice, but he hasn't been nice during the match, right? He hasn't been giving charity to anybody. He's been very much, being very, ruthless, right? Which doesn't usually happen for the entire match. So I would be a little disappointed if he did start to give... I mean, if he started to take the win for granted if he does get in a winning position and let Djokovic back. I don't think he'll make that mistake twice. He already did that in Australia, and look what happened. All right, I've got Alcaraz in 4. Here we go. First point, 4-4 rally as Alcaraz hits it wide, and Djokovic wins the first point of this epic. Chat, they're only going to play a bunch of times. I say this every time they play. They're only going to play 10, maybe 15 if we're very lucky. I mean, that's very lucky. Djokovic isn't going to play much longer, and he's not going to play for many more tournaments, right? He doesn't play every week. So when they play, it's a big deal. And this is the 9th time they've played. And every match, bar that one match that was really weird at the ATP Finals, that was straight sets, except for that one, it's been historic. And it's been very important for both players' legacies going, starting up. Because, I mean, I'm sure that Alcaraz would want to get, before Djokovic retires, would want to at least level the head-to-head, before Djokovic retires. 4-4 rally, as Alcaraz 4 again to the forehand of Djokovic, down the line in the net from Nole, and it's 15-all. 15-all. So, Eala's got love 30. Again, if you're watching the Eala match, we are going to keep up to date with what's going on. But it's Djokovic, Alcaraz taking priority. 15-all. Djokovic serves again. Djokovic serves again. Into the forehand of Alcaraz. Serve and volley. And the volley in the net by Nole. 15-30. Chance to take the break. Get a break point early here, Alcaraz. Serve and volley. Interesting. That doesn't feel like a... I don't know. Why is he shortening points? 15-30. Trying to mix it up, maybe. Serve out wide. The backhand, Alcaraz in the net. Oh, that would have been a crazy return, but it doesn't make the net. 30-all. 30-all. Oh, so 15-40. Eala to break back. All right. First serve is a fault by Djokovic. Second serve. I'm really keen to see how Alcaraz serves. His serve has been awesome this year, really. Since that Djokovic match, his serve has been incredible. Very underrated. As we're going to find out Djokovic down the line. Alcaraz gets up with the backhand. Djokovic forehand. Again to the back of Alcaraz on the stretch. Djokovic making Alcaraz move, but then eventually hits it in the net. And it's breakpoint Alcaraz first game of the match. 30-40. 30-40. Break point already. Also, Eala breaks back. 2-0. 30-40. Djokovic already under pressure. There's a bit of fault from Djokovic. Second serve. Second serve into the forehand of Alcaraz. Return goes in the forehand of Djokovic. Alcaraz forehand on the stretch. Into the forehand of Djokovic on the stretch. Now Alcaraz back in control. He goes straight to Djokovic who hits a pass. And then Alcaraz volleys in the net. Carlos had that point. But he just didn't go the right way with Djokovic. He went straight to him and Djokovic was like, thank you. That's perfect. Thank you. I don't have to run. All right, deuce. Eala breaks back at 2-2. Yep. All right, deuce. There's a bit of fault from Norway. Second serve. Second serve, Djokovic. The back end of Alcaraz. Return goes long. And it's advantage Djokovic to take the break. All right, advantage Djokovic. Advantage Djokovic to take to take the game, not the break. To take the game. As the return goes in the back of Djokovic, down the line is good. Alcaraz gets with a forehand cross court. Djokovic with a slice on the stretch. Alcaraz goes back behind Norway. Now, Chad, if Alcaraz does that, he wins. Because I'm noticing already in this first game, Djokovic, when he's in control, Alcaraz is getting to the ball pretty easily. He's running around, I mean, unless something happens down the track. But so far in this first game, when Alcaraz is in control, Djokovic looks like he's struggling, like he's scrambling. Whereas Alcaraz, when he's running, he looks like he's going to get every ball back. He looks faster. And he is, probably at this age, right? But Djokovic, when he's on the stretch, it's like he's in trouble. Alcaraz doesn't look in trouble when he's running around. Advantage Alcaraz, Djokovic in the net. And if Alcaraz plays like that last point, it's going to be a rough day. Eala 3-2. It's going to be a tough day if Djokovic has to do that amount of work. Advantage Alcaraz. As Djokovic serves. Djokovic with the serve. Advantage Alcaraz to get the break. He serves a fault. Second serve. Eala with a 3-2 lead, by the way. Advantage Alcaraz. As the return goes in the forehand of Djokovic. Djokovic hits it long. Break. Okay. All right. That's the start. Man, this could be a rough one. Alcaraz came ready. He cut his hair and he just got mean. No more Mr. Nice Guy. But yeah, that first game, Djokovic. Hey, Bon Jovi's in the house. And the crowd. He's on the camera and everyone's like, woo! He's just like, get that out of my face. Yeah, Alcaraz, that first game, he went savage straight away, whereas Djokovic, he was scrambling. All right, let's see how Alcaraz serves. Has been really good this year. When am I going to shave my head? Never. Not even when I probably should, you know? You know when when you see people that oh man, just cut it off, you know? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have a horrible comb over. I'm going to grow this side out and I'm going to flip it over the top. I will refuse to cut my hair. Anyways, that goes wide by Djokovic on the return. 15 love. I refuse. As Alcaraz serves again. Hey, look, Kool-Aid man, you hang on to what you got. You know, you hang on to it. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You do what you want to do. You keep it. All right. There's a backhand in there by Djokovic, 30 love. Go to Turkey. I've been to Turkey. I went on a holiday. I went to Turkey already on a holiday. All right, 30 love. And Alcaraz serves again. And it's a fault, second serve. Eala, by the way, hits a drop shot. Winner. Beautiful drop shot. Eala, 30 all. Who won the toss? I'm not sure, but Djokovic served first, so I'm sure Djokovic won the toss and elected to serve. The backhand goes into the front of Alcaraz. Djokovic backhand again. Into the backhand of Alcaraz. Djokovic wins the point. Alcaraz in the net with a backhand. 30-15. Are we still doing the if Alcaraz can't beat a 38-year-old as if Norlay's a random guy off the street? I know, it's kind of wild. Yeah, but we're just getting started. So 30-15 as Alcaraz hits a massive serve out wide. 40-15. 40-15. Pia.
Go, Alex. Thanks for covering again.
No worries.
3:23 MPH time.
You're a savage. Thanks for staying up. There's a 4-4 rally. Djokovic down the line to the backhand of Alcaraz. And Alcaraz in the net. A couple of backhand errors from Alcaraz in his first few games. 40-30. By the way, speaking of Eala, she's got 30-40 and a break point to take the lead with a break. Major.
Hi, Cam.
Hey.
What's the protocol if Djokovic wins this but announces he can't play the final due injury? Does Sinner get title default or does Carlos play?
Whoever made the final, if Djokovic withdraws from the final, the person who made the final as well gets the trophy automatically. There's no replacement. 30-40, by the way. Eala and Day. As Eala tries to win the break. Djokovic, though, he's trying to get to deuce and get back the break because he's already down to break 40-30 here. Alcaraz, 4-4 rally. As Djokovic in the net, it's 2 love Alcaraz, and Eala does get the break as well. So she's up 4-2. Alcaraz up 2 love. And there's so much going on. Yeah, so if Djokovic does beat Alcaraz and Sinner wins today, and they're playing in the final, but Djokovic is unable to play the final, then Sinner wins the trophy. There's no replacement. Alcaraz doesn't get a second chance. If you lose, you're out. Unless you're in the qualies and then you get a second chance. But that's a different thing. But yeah, there will be no final if the one player withdraws. There will be no final. The person will win the trophy if their opponent retires. Or withdraws. So yeah, there's no like protocol of like, oh well, we'll just get Alcaraz to play. That doesn't work like that. Even though, it's a shame that we wouldn't get a final if that was to happen. By the way, Djokovic is fine, everybody. If anybody's coming in going, what's happened to Djokovic? He's fine. But, hypothetically, yeah. Nothing would, like, the person who makes the final, if their opponent withdraws, they win the trophy. Or they win the match, right? 15 love Djokovic. Serve again. Nole, he's got the break. Alcaraz already. There's a return. Djokovic forehand to the backhand of Alcaraz. Volley from Nole is a winner. Inside out volley. Kind of off-putting, off-balancing Alcaraz. And it's 30 love, sorry. Also 30 love Eala. She's got 4-2. 30 love. As the return goes forward to Djokovic. Djokovic hits it wide. 30-15. 30-15. Djokovic already hit 4 unforced errors on the forehand side. Unfortunately, that's a lot. And that can't be happening because Alcaraz doesn't need you to give him charity. He can win his own points. All right, 30-15, Djokovic. Eala's also got 30-15 as Djokovic serves. A fault, second serve. Second serve. Yeah, the forehand of Alcaraz. Great return winner. 30-all. Chad, I don't know. Maybe I'm just like nervous because it's early match, but it's still like the way that Alcaraz is playing and the way that Djokovic is responding to him play. He's not. It's not that he's not running. It's just that he's choosing not to move as much. Maybe because it's too early to run this much, but from Djokovic's point, it's a bit concerning that he's not really moving. And Alcaraz is going all out again. And then he hits a forehand straight to Djokovic. Alcaraz lets it bounce wide by Nole. It's 30-40. And Djokovic, Alcaraz, he's like, oh, thank you for going out. Because he could have hit that volley, but he let it go wide. And it luckily went wide for him. 30-40. Alcaraz is just on a whole nother level at the moment. He is like kind of suffocating Djokovic. Like Djokovic hasn't really had any time to be in the rally. I mean, Nole, yeah, he hit like a couple of good shots here and there, but it doesn't feel like he's in these rallies. 30-40. Alcaraz for a double break. Djokovic serves. Into the body of Alcaraz. Great serve. Alcaraz tried to defend himself, and it went wide. Deuce. Eala's up 5-2. She was down 2-love, so good fight back from Eala. She is up 5-2 in the first. All right, Djokovic to deuce. As he serves an ace down the tee, Nole. All right. Advantage Djokovic. Rami Malek's back in the house, by the way. All right, advantage Djokovic. Please don't put. Let me do the scores. Just chill. You don't have to do it. All right, advantage Djokovic. He serves out wide the backhand of Alcaraz. Djokovic to the forehand. Again to the backhand of Alcaraz. He slices it back. And Djokovic forehand down the line. Alcaraz now is on the stretch and in the net. That's the first time that Djokovic has looked in control. Okay, he's on the board. 2-1. 2-1. 2-1 Djokovic. Sorry, Alcaraz. Djokovic on the board, though. How are we doing, chat? Gutted that Townsend and Siniakova, but they were outclassed. Yeah. That was a tough... I mean, it's not like they did lose to a tough team. Top 5 team or top 3 team, so... All right. Let's go, Carlos. Yep. By the way, Eala 5-2 in Guadalajara, trying to make her first final or second final of the year, I think, right? Where are the Eala fans at? I think she's trying to make her second final of the season. She's in there, 15-love. Why are we talking about withdrawals? Somebody asked about a hypothetical if Djokovic, for example, won against Alcaraz and made the final and had to retire, what would happen? But it's a hypothetical. No one's hurt. Everyone's fine. And this is maybe we'll beat Sabalenka. She can. We've seen it before. Tomorrow's women's final. I'm excited. That's going to be so good. Yesterday's semifinals was so good. Was so good. So I'm so excited for the final. All right, here we go. Djokovic holds, but Alcaraz still has a break. 2-1. What time is the final on Sunday? I think it's around this time. I think it's around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock on Sunday. Right. 20 minutes played. Alcaraz Djokovic 2-1 to Carlos. Eala's up 5-2, and she's 2 points away from taking the first set. As Alcaraz comes to the net, Djokovic, the passing shot goes long. God, Alcaraz's forehand right now is insane. Like, every time he hits it, it's 100 miles an hour, and Djokovic is just, like, trying to get a racket on it. Like, Alcaraz's forehand is crazy right now. 15 love. Like, he's hitting it hard and accurate. It is scary. Day puts that in the net. 15-40. Eala with the break points. Set points, I should say. Serve to the forehand of Djokovic. Return goes in the forehand of Alcaraz. Djokovic passing shot goes long. Again, that forehand, man. 30 love. Djokovic, oh no, Nole's just stretching out his neck. Now, we have seen him have, like, shoulder and neck pain this week, but he's already doing this one. Eala wins, by the way, takes the first set. 6-2. Nice fight back from Alex Eala. All right, 30 love Alcaraz. Yeah, Djokovic is already starting to, like, do one of these. 30 love. Serve out wide the forehand of Djokovic. Return is into the back of Alcaraz, who hits a one-hander. Okay. Forehand to forehand rally. Now Djokovic in control. Alcaraz doing a run, but he hits a slice down the line instead. Forehand now into the forehand of Alcaraz. Now Djokovic is doing the running, and he hits it wide. As soon as you get Alcaraz steady on his feet, this point's over. Like, Djokovic played a good point until he just hit it a little bit too close, and Carlos was like, ready, go, and then that was it. I mean, you can't let Alcaraz steady, like almost like plant his feet. You got to keep him moving, but the second he stays, like, he gets his balance, it's over. On the forehand side, 40 love. Body serve is very nice by Alcaraz. Djokovic gets it though, and then Alcaraz hits it wide. Okay, it was a little overpowered by Alcaraz. 40-15. 40-15. Djokovic playing possum. I mean, look. We'll see what he does at the next change of ends if Djokovic needs any treatment. 40-15. But he has had, like, again, it's hard to say injury because it's not really an injury because it doesn't seem that as serious as an injury, but he's been sore, Djokovic, this week. As Alcaraz double faults, 40-30. Djokovic has definitely had, neck soreness. He's had, treatment on his back. He's had treatment on his arm all week, in like 2 or 3 matches this week. So again, it's not an injury. I wouldn't say he's injured because that's a lot more serious than what it seems. But he's definitely uncomfortable, Djokovic. Right? 40-30. As Alcaraz serves another fault, second serve. Eala gets the first point of the second, 15 love. She's got first set 6-2. All right, Alcaraz serves into the backhand of Djokovic. Return goes in the backhand of Alcaraz. Djokovic slice into the forehand of Alcaraz. He hits a drop shot, and it's going to hit the net and go in the net. All right. This is interesting. 40 love to deuce. And Alcaraz, I mean, he's hit a double fault, a bad drop shot, or like a tough drop shot. I mean, that wasn't bad. He hit it way too close to the net. And a forehand inside out that was a little bit over, like too big. He hit it a little bit too aggressive. Yeah, a little overzealous, yeah. Got to be careful. Because he's been playing pretty flawless up until this point, Alcaraz. He's playing a little too much. He's like, oh, I'm really good. It's like, no. Shh, settle down. As Djokovic in the net with a backhand slice. That's a shame. That was a bad mistake. He knows it. Advantage, Alcaraz. But yeah, Alcaraz is getting a little too... He's playing really well. It's like, just keep doing that. You don't need to do anything else. Slicing the net from Djokovic. That was a bad miss by Nole. He was in the rally. Easy error to give. First serve's a fault, second serve. Second serve. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Return goes to the forehand of Alcaraz. Backhand of Djokovic down the line. Alcaraz gets with the forehand cross court. Djokovic on the stretch. Goes down the line from Alcaraz now as Djokovic to the pass. Oh, what a shot from Nole. Okay. All right. And he likes it. Djokovic likes that one. What a shot. He's like, yeah, I still got it. I still got something. That was vintage. By the way, anybody who said 38-year-old grandpa, my grandpa couldn't do that. Can your grandpa do that? We're talking about grandpa. The hell? Most 20-year-olds can't even do that. And even Alcaraz was like, ooh, oh yeah, I'm playing Novak Djokovic, the greatest of all time. I forgot. Yeah, Alcaraz. Now you remember, Carlos. You remember who you're playing. Back to deuce. He serves a fault. Second serve. Maybe that might be the wake-up call Alcaraz needs to go, oh, yep, let's just, tighten it up. As Djokovic hits a return long, another bad error. And Nole's pissed at himself. And he should be, because he has missed a couple of easy shots for him. Yeah, bad error, bad backhand. Good second serve, though, Alcaraz. He did put a bit of kick on it. All right, advantage Alcaraz. First serve's a fault. Carlos' first serve's disappeared a little bit, though. Second serve. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Return goes long again. Two backhand second serve returns go long. Yeah, that was poor by Nole. That's a shame. All right. 3-1 Alcaraz. All right, Eala, by the way, is a set and 1-love in the second. $24 minutes is crazy for this match. Oh, yeah. Hey, probably a celebrity. I don't know who she is. Who is this lady? Who's the lady with the glasses? Anybody know? Does anyone know who that was? She must have been famous. They zoomed in on her face. Or it's the cameraman's wife. I don't know. 3-1. Djokovic serves again. Into the backhand of Alcaraz, but double fault Nole. God, he's giving away all these free points. Anna Kendrick. She's in movies. What movie? What movie is she in? The Pitch Perfect. Pitch Perfect. Pitch Perfect? Yes. The singing movie. Anyways, love 15. Djokovic back into the net again. Love 30. It's getting ugly. Love 40 for Eala, by the way. As the serve goes down the tee and long by Day. Second serve. Second serve. Serve into the backhand of Eala. Good return. Day with the backhand on the stretch. Eala goes down the line. Day with a forehand into the forehand of Eala. As Day with the backhand on the stretch. Goes wide. Eala breaks. 2-love. 2-love Eala setting a break. She is cruising. Not a baseball movie? What? Anna Kendrick's in a baseball movie? I don't know. Maybe? She might be. All right. Love 30. Djokovic to the fault. Second serve. Second serve, Nole. Into the backhand of Alcaraz. Return goes wide. I tell you, Djokovic's second serve, kind of body serve on the backhand of Alcaraz is working pretty well. He's cramped him up a couple of times. 15-30. It's been a good serve by Nole, but the fact that he's had to hit second serves is the hard part, right? I mean, he's got to get that first serve in, so he doesn't have to hit those second serves in the body. Another first serve fault. Djokovic, man, his serve is off. Second serve. Second serve, Nole to take, well, for Alcaraz trying to get this double break. Second serve in the front of Alcaraz. Good return the backhand of Djokovic. Alcaraz with a backhand. Into the front of Djokovic. Alcaraz forehand goes cross court. Djokovic is there. He goes down the line. Alcaraz backhand cross court. What a shot. And then Djokovic down the line. Alcaraz gets it back. But it goes long. Djokovic's backhand down the line, though. That's a shot. Nole's backhand is saving him at the moment. The serve and the forehand, not so much. But the backhand is keeping Djokovic alive. 30-all. That backhand down the line on the stretch, beautiful shots. He's hit two of them now. When he does that, splits and stuff, iconic. Just iconic. 30-all. And then an ace. And then the clutch. the clutchness of the ace at 30 all. That's what all champions do. That's how they become champions. If you can figure out how to do that, chat, you might win the Grand Slam. All right, 40-30. It's that easy, chat. If you can hit an ace at 30 all every time, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. 40-30. Tell that to Andy, Roddick. That's rude. It's harsh. Anyways, 40-30. As we had a return in from Alcaraz, the forehand to Djokovic. Alcaraz forehand is a drop shot in the net. 2 bad drop shots, Alcaraz. All right. He's keeping Djokovic in this, Alcaraz. Like, Nole's backhand's keeping him alive. A little bit of charity from Carlos too, though. Got to be careful, Carlos. We know what happened in Melbourne. 3-2 Alcaraz with the break. Eala, by the way, down break point. As with a forehand from Eala into the backhand of Day. Eala on the stretch. Day with a forehand cross court. Eala's going to get there, but not get it back. And Day breaks back. It's 2-1. All right. How we doing, chat? How we doing? Let's answer some questions. Hey, Azza, thank you for gifting a membership to Robin. Appreciate that. All right. How we doing, chat? Let's do some quick questions. What a poor drop shot. Yeah, Alcaraz hit two not great drop shots. Stop doing drop shots, Carlos. Yeah. Novak is also giving away free points, though. He is, but Alcaraz is also forcing Djokovic to do a lot more. Like, so, yeah, Alcaraz, like, the reason why Djokovic is, like, hitting more errors is because when he gets in the rally, there's that pressure to, like, oh, shit, I better do something because Alcaraz is, so dominant at the moment. So the pressure on Djokovic to make something happen when he's in the rally is forcing him to make errors, right? The pressure of making the most of that, right? Whereas, because Alcaraz is making him run so much, but when Alcaraz hits drop shots, there's no pressure coming from Djokovic. Like, he's not under pressure. Djokovic has hit 2 great backhands and a couple of aces. Alcaraz should not be under pressure here because he is in control, right? But if he starts playing silly, we know how that can backfire. Trying to do drop shots when you don't need to. He's just, as he hits a lovely backhand, Alcaraz cross-court winner, 15-love. But that's been the thing with Alcaraz, at times, is that when he is dominating, there'll be times where he does just like, oh, well, I'm winning pretty easy, so I might as well just do a drop shot. And you're like, no, that wasn't the smart shot. Whereas, and I know I'm going to compare him to Sinner. Sinner doesn't do that, right? Sinner he doesn't get creative, right? He doesn't go, you know what? This is pretty easy. I'm going to just, like when he was playing Bublik, he didn't start doing serve volleys and drop shots, right? He was like, he just stuck to the plan. Alcaraz does deviate, which is great fun, right? We love watching that. But also, you got to make sure you don't do that against the wrong guy, because if you do that against Djokovic, it's going to be 3-all, and then all of a sudden Djokovic takes the first, and you're like, what happened? Carlos was killing it, right? You can't mess around with Nole. It's not definitely not a smart idea. And he's been burned before, so you should know that. As a return from Djokovic goes in the forehand of Alcaraz, Djokovic forehand into the forehand of Alcaraz down the line of the backhand of Djokovic. Alcaraz forehand goes cross court. And Djokovic forehand again to the forehand of Alcaraz, and Alcaraz crushes that forehand. That's what he needs to keep doing. And it's funny, it's because, not that the way that Sinner plays is boring, but he plays very, straight down the line, edge, he will do what will get him the win, right? And he will not deviate. Alcaraz needs to play boring. Just do the obvious thing. Crush the forehands, serve big, until Djokovic makes a change. There's no need to make a change. You don't need to do anything crazy. Another forehand winner, Alcaraz. Just keep crushing the forehands. There's no need to give this crowd a highlight shot. You don't need to do that. Just keep doing, play boring. And he'll win in straight sets at this stage. All right. Just conventional. Tennis 101. Serve, forehand open court. Just do that. Until Djokovic does something else, and then you got to change, right? Djokovic is going to make you change. 4-2. Don't let him back in. Navratilova in the house. Legend. Gotcha. We got some living legends in tennis, don't we? this sport is. We've got Martina. We've still got Rod. You know. We've got Chrissy Evans still around in the house. She's still on the TV. Mac. I wish Jimmy Connors was more in the limelight. Miss Jimmy. Borg's around. I mean, we've had him around. Obviously, Lever Cup was where he was showing his face a lot. Love it. 15 love. These are the Billie Jean, right? These are the players that have done some of the, they were the first ones to do, the great things, right? Some of the first players of the Open era to do the great stuff. Before Djokovic and Nadal and Serena, and, they did it first, right? I mean, Borg got to 11, and then he went, I'm 26, I'm going to go do something else. Okay. Right? Martina and Chrissy got 18 each. Crazy. Before Steffi came along, right? All right, 30 love. Djokovic serving again. Djokovic serves again. Now wide of the front of Alcaraz. Good return. Nole goes down the line, but wide. That's 30-15. So 15-30. Eala in a bit of trouble here. She was up a set and a break and it was looking easy, but Day has fought back. Goes wide on the backhand side. It's 30-all. All right, 30-15. Yeah, Martina had a 109-match win streak in doubles. That's crazy. What is that? I think Martina, remind me of the year, but I think it was, I want to say it was early 80s, where Martina went on a 100 and something and she lost 2 matches or something. Wasn't there some crazy season she had where she won 100 and something matches and lost 1? It was the near perfect season. She went on it. I think she lost 1 Grand Slam match, right? She lost at the Australian Open or something. But every other, she was just, I can't remember what year it was. Somebody remind me. As Djokovic hits a wide 30-all. Arguably one of the greatest seasons of all time. Yeah, 98-1. Yeah, something like that. It was some crazy, ridiculous thing where she lost 1 match. And I think it was at the Australian Open. I think she lost that match there. In 84, was it? Jimmy Butler in the house. Who's he play for now? He's been traded and stuff. Who's he playing for now? As we serve out wide the forehand of Alcaraz, and then Djokovic crushes the forehand. God, clutch again. All right, 40-30. 40-30. Djokovic serves again. A fault. Second serve. He plays with Golden State, does he? Okay. Because he was with Miami for a while. He was with the Bulls. As we serve now the forehand of Alcaraz. Alcaraz in the net. Djokovic keeps staying close. It's really just that early break that Alcaraz was able to secure. As Day puts that in the net, and Eala's got 3-2 in the second. Yeah, so it was in 1984. Yeah, 74 match win streak, Martina. I mean, no one's going to get that, right? 74 match win streak. She lost in the final of Oakland in February, and then she didn't lose a match until the Australian Open semi-finals, which was at the end of the year. It used to be in December. So she won. I mean, we don't talk about it. She almost won a calendar slam. We talk about how Serena came close, but Martina came close. That was a semi-final. She lost in a close 3 setup to stop the streak, but yeah, that 1984 season, that was an all-time season. Hey, The guy that sings music is in the house. I have no idea who that guy is. The guy with the green thing in the pocket. I don't know who that is, but he must be famous. By the way, thank you, Laura, for the 45 months as a member. Appreciate that. Danny.
Yo, Alex.
Thank you, Danny, for the 5. She's doing all right, Alex. She's up a set in 3-2. Mister.
I think there's a huge diff between this Alc and Al.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But, again, like I've been stressing, Alcaraz has got to be careful because he is dominating, but he's not putting Djokovic away yet. Because Djokovic just needs that one opportunity and we're back on serve, right? So Alcaraz needs to... Because Nole's only going to get warmer and better, and Alcaraz can't be playing with his food when it's Djokovic, right? How was my meatball sub yesterday? It was delicious. 15 love. As Alcaraz serves a fault, second serve. Second serve. To the backhand of Djokovic. Return to the backhand of Alcaraz. Djokovic forehand. Into the forehand of Alcaraz. Djokovic forehand again. Into the forehand of Alcaraz, who hits a winner again. How many forehand winners is that? It's got to be at least 10. He's crushed that forehand. 30 love. 30 love. And really, the only difference so far is that break on the scoreboard anyway. The only difference is the break at the first game. But throughout this match, it's been Alcaraz who's been better. He should probably be up a double break. It should be 5-2, right? Alcaraz should be serving with the set at 5-2 here. But Nole's just hanging around. Alcaraz. Eala's got break points, 15-40, by the way. Return goes in from Djokovic to the forehand of Alcaraz. Backhand from Djokovic to the backhand of Alcaraz. Djokovic slice. Goes in the forehand slice of Alcaraz. Djokovic backhand slice again. Goes long, and it's 40 love. And again, Nole in the rallies. As soon as he loses a point like that, when he's in the rally, it's a big miss because it's only going to take Alcaraz a big serve and a forehand to win the points. And when he's in the rallies, Djokovic, he can't give away free points like that. It's been too common so far. 40 love. Eala breaks, by the way. Great rally, and she gets a 4-2. She's up a set and a break. And Alcaraz holds 5-3. 5-3. 5-3 to Alcaraz. Now, Djokovic's got to hold here because if he does serve first in the second and stay in front, he hasn't been broken since the first game. If he can keep hold serve in the second, if he doesn't break back here, he's got to at least hold this game to have that opportunity. Because then maybe he can steal the second in the end, right? We saw that in Australia. It was 6-4, 4-6, right? As they're backing out from Djokovic down the line, goes long. Love 15. Love 15. As Djokovic serves again. Into the forehand of Alcaraz. Forehand from Djokovic cross court. Alcaraz gets there, goes down the line and long. All right, Alcaraz overhits that one. 15-0. Eala, by the way, 15 love. Thanks everybody for sticking around for the Eala match. I know there's a lot of people that want to watch her. And I know that a lot of people have stayed up late to watch her, so I appreciate that. And she is cruising at the moment with a set and a break. She's at 15-0, serving to go to 5-2 as we have a serve now from Djokovic in the net. 15-0 on his serve as well. As we serve down to the forehand of Alcaraz. Good return. Djokovic back in on the stretch. Cross court to the slice of Alcaraz and slicing the net by Carlos. 30-15. My friends and I are debating, do you consider an upset if Djokovic wins? Yes. Not a massive, groundbreaking, oh my God, what the hell was that? Because we've seen it already this year. But yes, Djokovic beats Alcaraz today, it's an upset. But it's not like if Felix beats Sinner. That's what? That's crazy. It wouldn't be unexpected, but yeah, it's an upset, for sure. Anyways, good hitting from Djokovic, 40-15. You do such a great job. That's why we're all here. Thank you, Laura. Appreciate it. Thank you for sticking around. Eala gets to 40-15. 5 points away from a final. I know it's not a Grand Slam, but Eala winning even a 125 and just improving her ranking a little bit extra and getting that confidence, and it's all part of the journey. Sounds very philosophical. That goes out by Alcaraz. All right, 5-4. Djokovic does his job. Now Alcaraz is going to serve for the set. Hey, DJ, thank you for the 32 months. Hopefully your holiday's going all right. As Day crushes a forehand return, 40-30. By the way, they must be showing celebrities in the crowd because everybody's screaming. All right. Next game's important. Oh, yeah. Felix, 27 in the world. Yep. Show Rami Malek. They play We Will Rock You. He will always be Freddie Mercury, right? Like, no matter what Rami Malek does in the future, he will always be Freddie Mercury. Like, every time he's anywhere, they're going to play We Will Rock You. They'll play We Are the Champions. They'll play Bohemian Rhapsody and show his face because he will forever be known as the guy who played Freddie Mercury and won. Didn't he win an Oscar? Like, obviously did it so well that everybody, it's probably not the worst thing. It's like, but still, I don't know if he could ever do anything more than that. Like, he's going to be he set the bar high. Yeah, you win an Oscar for playing Freddie Mercury. You are forever going to be the Freddie Mercury guy. All right, Eala hits it in the net, by the way, and she's down a break point. All right, advantage today. He's always Mr. Robot for me. Look, fair enough. All right, advantage Day as she tries to get back on serve here in the second. Alcaraz trying to win the first set. Djokovic hits a forehand return wide. 15 love. Hey, Hamid, thank you for becoming a member. Appreciate it. All right, as Eala saves the break point, gets back to deuce with a great forehand down the line. All right, Alcaraz 3 points away from the first set. Serving the forehand of Djokovic, return to the forehand of Alcaraz. Djokovic forehand passing shot. Alcaraz with a drop volley. Djokovic's going to get there with a lob. It's going to go in. And then Alcaraz with a backhand lob. But Djokovic with a drop volley of his own. Then Alcaraz goes slice backhand, but it's in the nets. And Djokovic outfoxes Alcaraz for one of the first times today. 15-all. And the crowd go nuts. They're like, yes, let's go. That's what we paid probably tens of thousands of dollars to be here for. To see Rami Malek and John Bon Jovi and watch that rally. That's what they spent all their money for. That's it. I spent 15 grand on this ticket because I wanted to see Bon Jovi and Carlos and Djokovic. And Anna Kendrick. All right, 15-all. Alcaraz serves an ace. All right, 30-15. As Eala with an ace and she gets to it 5-2. Eala one game away from the final. All right, 30-15. As Alcaraz serves again. Into the backhand of Djokovic. The return goes into the forehand of Alcaraz. In the net! He hasn't been missing those forehands. 30-all. And for the first time today, Alcaraz in trouble on serve. 30-all. And the crowd are going, no way, no way. All right, 30-all. Alcaraz serves. Into the forehand of Djokovic in the net. Clutched by Carlos. All right, 40-30. Big serve at the right time. 40-30. Set point for Carlos Alcaraz to take the first set. And Day is serving to stay in the set against Eala, in the match against Eala. 40-30. 40-30. Zoga serves and the return in the net again. Two big serves by Carlos in the first set, 6-4. Okay. And really, after the first break of serve in the first game of the match, that's really what it was all about. It was just both guys were hanging on to serve, but Alcaraz had that early break. So the second set's going to be really interesting. All right, 6-4, first set in the bag. All right, by the way, Eala is one game away from taking her spot in the final, where she'll play, I think she'll play Udvardi, who she played on the clay courts a couple of months ago. So a bit of a rematch if she does convert this win. First set, by the way, a lot of forced errors. 17 forced errors by Djokovic, but that's because Carlos was crushing that forehand. No break points against Alcaraz's serve, which is very impressive. I remember maybe 18 months ago, the amount of people that would be like, well, Carlos doesn't have a serve. That's why he can't be undefeated and win everything. He doesn't have a serve. He heard you, and now he has a serve. It's crazy. It's crazy how scary that serve is now.
Nice job moderating as usual.
Hey, thank you, Christina. Shout out to Deb for keeping everyone in check. WX.
What this other match you calling, and why can't I find it?
It's a WTA match, challenger match. And I read super chats when we have time.
Not reading super chats.
No, I do read super chats. Thank you for the $4. Appreciate it. I just don't get to it instantly because we got 100 things going on. All right, 30-all. Eala's 2 points away from the win. Now we're going to merge the streams once this Eala match is over. So, and I know it's late in the Philippines, so if you are staying up late and you got to go to sleep, I understand. But I would encourage you to stick around because Alcaraz versus Djokovic, if you don't know much about tennis, on the men's side of things, this is one of the matches. This is one of the rivalries right now. It's one of the must-watch matches. If you want to learn more about tennis, you've got to watch that. Hey, Pat Rafter in the house. All right, 40-30 Day. Pat Rafter's in the house. Love that. He's talking to the guy in front of Jimmy Butler. Love that. Two-time champion here. Pat's a legend, yeah. And remember, Pat Rafter is gone to San Francisco with Team World because he's the vice principal. Because Agassi is the headmaster. Anyways, Day holds 5-3. Eala's going to serve for this match and a spot in the final. Who's Pat Rafter? Pat Rafter is a two-time US Open champion who was world number one for a week. The only player ever to be world number one for just one single week. And he's an Australian legend. Anyways, that goes out. Played in the late 90s. He played in the 90s with Sampras and Agassi. One of the nicest guys in tennis. Like, he's Mr. Nice Guy. If you watch him interviews, he's a very nice person. I'm sure he's great in real life too. We should get him on the channel. Love 15. Alcaraz wins the first point of the second as we get a return now from Alcaraz. Djokovic forehand as Alcaraz puts up a lob. Djokovic smash. Alcaraz guesses right with a passing shot and Djokovic volley goes in the net. Carlos is too good. Love 30. Love 30. Yeah, they named a stadium after him in Brisbane. Pat Rafter Arena. All right, love 30. Man, I mean, Djokovic didn't play a bad point either. He hit a great approach. He hit a decent smash. But Alcaraz is just him. As Eala crushes the backhand. 30 love. 30 love. Eala 2 points away from the final. As the return goes into the forehand of Djokovic. Forehand now from Alcaraz. Inside out is long. A little overexcited on that forehand. 15-30. Yeah, Rafter won the US Open twice. 97-98. As Eala serves an ace out wide. All right. 40 love. Alex Eala to make the final of Guadalajara. And Djokovic is trying not to get broken in the first game of the second like he did in the first. As he serves down the tee, that's a fault. Second serve. As Eala serves into the forehand of Day. Return goes to the forehand of Eala. Day gets the point. Eala hits it long. 40-15 as Djokovic goes down the line. Alcaraz slices it back. Djokovic forehand down the line. Alcaraz the backhand pass in the net. 30-all. 30-all. Djokovic hanging on. 30-all. Eala with match point number 2. 40-15. Rafter was god of volleys. Oh, yeah, Rafter's volleys. Serve and volley Rafter was... Oh, I love it. I've got some matches of his on DVD. Anyways, forehand out from Day. Into the backhand of Eala. That goes into the backhand of Day as Eala backhand is wide. 40-30 as Djokovic hits the backhand down the line. Passing shot from Alcaraz. Djokovic with a volley. Back down the line. Alcaraz went the wrong way. And Nole gets the 40-30. All right, Eala. Match point number 3, sorry. To play the final of Guadalajara. Djokovic trying to hold serve in the first game of the second. All right, Eala, match point. She serves into the forehand of Day. Return goes to the forehand of Eala. And Eala hits the winner. There it is. Alex Eala is into the final. As Djokovic goes forehand to forehand with Alcaraz. Now down the line from Nole's a winner. Okay. Djokovic wins the first game. He fights back to do it. And it's 1-love in the second. All right, Eala gets the win. She's into the final of Guadalajara. That's going to be tomorrow. I don't know what time, but we'll tune in. Try and see her win her first trophy of this season. All right, we're going to use this opportunity to merge the streams and focus solely on the semis. But thank you for hanging out. Thank you everybody for understanding, but also for staying up late, because I know there's a lot of people that watch Eala, ask about watching Eala, and good night if you're going back to bed. We'll watch her tomorrow in the final. But great win. She gets it done in straights, and she's into the final of a hard-court tournament, and I think her second final of the year. Okay, here we go. Alcaraz has got work now. It just feels like Djokovic is starting to... Well, he's definitely settled into this match now. He wasn't at the start of the match. Start of the match, he looked a little shaky, but now it's like, all right, what's going to happen? And this is what happened in Australia. Remember what happened in Australia? First it went Alcaraz 6-4, and then Djokovic won the second 6-4. So Alcaraz has to be careful. There's not going to be a repeat. All right. Let me just update the scores, and we will be good to go. All right. 15-all. Djokovic overhits that one. All right, 15-all. All right, 15-all. As the return goes into the forehand of Alcaraz, backing up from Djokovic to the backhand of Alcaraz. Alcaraz in the net. 15-30. Uh-oh. 15-30. Joe.
Though Alexa, thanks for covering Alex Cam.
No worries, Joe. Thank you for the 5. You're welcome. Thanks for staying up late. All right. 15-30. 15-30. Serve again. Here's a fault. Second serve, Alcaraz. Second serve. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Return goes in. Oh, it goes out. Alcaraz Djokovic overhits it. 30-all. 30-all. As Alcaraz serves again. $30-all. As the return goes into the forehand of Alcaraz. Djokovic backhand cross court. Alcaraz gets it, but overhits it. Break point. First one of the day for Novak Djokovic. 30-40. Nole's jogging around as well. 30-40. Alcaraz in trouble for the first time. Alcaraz with a serve. There's a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Alcaraz with a forehand. Into the forehand of Djokovic with a slice. Volley Alcaraz. Djokovic puts up a lob. Alcaraz goes running back. And he hits a forehand into the backhand of Djokovic as Alcaraz backhand down the line. Goes long and Djokovic breaks. Oh, and he's fired up. He's been holding that in. Nole's fired up. Game on. 2-love. We've been waiting for this. What a rally as well. Such a Djokovic point to win. Alcaraz, by the way, crushed that forehand when he ran backwards. And now Djokovic is fired up. Oh, he just got started. 2-love. The reactions. That's what Djokovic needed. All of a sudden, it feels like we're level. I mean, first set felt like Djokovic was just trying to survive. But that last point and that reaction feels like, all right, we're level now. We're ready. Great serve down the tee from Djokovic, 15-love. He just powered up Nole. He just went up. That was as close as somebody leveling up from like normal to like Super Saiyan 3, right? Just like that. 15-love. And the scream, and like he just glowed, like his hair went like blonde. It was crazy. He lost his eyebrows. There's been a forehand inside out to the backhand of Alcaraz. Djokovic forehand into the forehand of Alcaraz. In the net by Alcaraz. 30-love. And all of a sudden, Alcaraz is in a fight. 10 minutes ago, we were thinking, uh-oh, Djokovic better be careful here. And now it's like, welcome to the party. All right, 30-love. As Djokovic serves. As the return goes into the forehand of Djokovic. Alcaraz gets it back. Djokovic comes to the net. Alcaraz, the passing shot is a lob, but it's too short. Djokovic just puts it away. 40-love. 40-love. What happened to the Eala match? She won. She won in straight sets and made the final. All right, 40-love. Djokovic for a 3-love lead. As the backhand return goes wide. By the way, only the second time that Djokovic, Alcaraz has been broken, I think, this week as well. So, holy hell. Now this is it, chat. Remember what I said at the start of the match? What happens when Alcaraz gets tested? Because he hasn't been tested like this at all this tournament. He's cruised, right? Now he's in a fight. What does he do? How does he react? All right. Djokovic a machine? Oh, yeah. Carlos is very aware of the threat Nole poses. Yeah, I mean, he should be. He's played him enough and he's been in this situation enough. Djokovic needs to win this set? Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. We are so back. Yeah. I mean, Alcaraz was dominating Djokovic in that first set, but just didn't win the set easily. Now, look, it doesn't matter if he won 6-1, 6-4, whatever. The first set's in Alcaraz's pocket, but he just didn't, he was crushing Djokovic, but it wasn't showing on the scoreboard. And then 1 point, Djokovic lights on fire, right? And now it's like, uh-oh, this is scary now, right? All of a sudden it got scary. Is that Mary Pierce in the house? Or who are they showing? Hugh Jackman's in the house. And Dwight from The Office. Okay. 3-Love. 3-Love. Let's see what Alcaraz can do here. By the way, Alcaraz has won 99% of service games for the tournament. Today it's 83%. That's a wild stat. 99%. All right, return goes in the backhand of Alcaraz. Djokovic backhand on the stretch. Alcaraz with the volley. Too good. 15-Love. 15-Love. All right, chat. Best Hugh Jackman movie. Go. Best Hugh Jackman movie. Go. Who you got? What you got? Best Hugh Jackman movie. Best Hugh Jackman movie. Go on. I'll wait. 15-Love. As the backhand return goes into the forehand volley of Alcaraz. That's a great drop volley. He just got there to Alcaraz because Djokovic's return was awkward. 30-Love. Greatest Showman, Wolverine, Logan, The Prestige. The Prestige. I'm going to watch that after this. I'm going to watch that. Prestige. The Prestige. Nobody said Les Mis? Okay. Prisoners is a great movie. I have to find that. I haven't found that on DVD yet. I got to find that. That's on my list. All right. Backhand return. Goes in the forehand of Alcaraz and he shanks it into the crowd. 30-15. Yeah, Prisoners is crazy. Van Helsing, nice. Australia, I've never seen that movie. Wolverine. Real Steel. I didn't mind that movie. X-Men First Class. All right. 30-15. Les Mis. Why is people laughing? I haven't seen it. I just know that he's in it. He shaves his head and stuff, doesn't he? He's like Jean-Claude Van Damme or whatever. 30-15. Backhand rally. As it a backhand into the slice of Alcaraz. To the forehand of Djokovic. Alcaraz backhand. Into the backhand of Djokovic. To the backhand of Alcaraz. Djokovic. Backhand again. Into the backhand of Alcaraz. Djokovic backhand again down the line of the nets. 40-15. Jean Valjean. That's what I said. That's what I said. Jean Valjean. That's exactly what I said. I'm pretty sure I said that. All right. 2, 4, 6, 0, 1. Not today. We're not breaking into a musical today. 40-15. Return goes. All right, it's 3-1. No musicals today, all right? We're not doing any musical numbers today, all right? Not today. Not today. We'll save that for a rain delay, all right? We'll save that for a rainy day. I'll break out my special talent. Musical theatre. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? All right. Back to Djokovic. He's got the break. 3-1. As the return goes into the backhand of Djokovic. Backhand Alcaraz. Cross court in the backhand of Nole. And Nole hits it long. And it is love 15. The Prestige with Kristen Bale and Hugh Jackman's a banger. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's got Bowie. Oh. Great movie. Great movie. One of Nolan's best. All right, love 15. That's a fault second serve. As we go back into backhand rally. And that goes in the net by Alcaraz. 15 all. Alcaraz hit 7 errors in the second set already. Insomnia's great Nolan film. Yeah, I'm halfway through watching that. I was watching the other day. But unfortunately, I could not finish it. As with a backhand rally, Djokovic to the forehand of Alcaraz, and he comes to the net, Nole with a volley, but he hits the volley long, 15-30. Yeah, I was watching it. Did I fall asleep? Yeah, well, I had a 12-hour day, so I was a little tired, right? But yeah, I fell asleep. But it was great. The start of it was great. Like it was a great, I was hooked. I was into it. So I can't wait to watch the rest of it. 15-30. There's a bit of serve. Into the back of Alcaraz. Return goes long. And it's 30-all. 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 Can Alcaraz break back? Pacino and Williams are brilliant. Yeah, well, I only just started watching it, so I'm not up to that part. 30-all. Serve to the forehand of Alcaraz. Good return. Djokovic backhand down the middle. As Alcaraz forehand again. The forehand of Djokovic. Alcaraz forehand on the stretch. Down the line. Djokovic backhand cross. Alcaraz gets it with the backhand into the forehand of Nole as they go forehand to forehand. Djokovic down the line, though. Alcaraz with a slice on the stretch. Djokovic in control. But he comes to the net with a volley. Alcaraz puts a passing shot down. Past him. That's what they are. Passing shots past people. 30-40. Too good. I mean, Djokovic played a good point, except for the approach shot. The approach shot let him down. I don't know if he shanked it or if it hit the tape. But the approach shot gave Alcaraz a chance to come back. And then the first volley, Djokovic couldn't get enough on it. Break point, 30-40. It wasn't a bad volley. Alcaraz crushed the forehand and Djokovic just had to react. But the approach shot was a little too loopy. Now, I don't know, maybe he shanked it. But the approach shot from Djokovic was too easy for Alcaraz to get. And then, I mean, that forehand by Alcaraz cross-court, I mean, crazy. If he'd never done it before, you'd say it was lucky. That was a bit of fault from Djokovic, second serve. He did one in the last. He does that once a match. That shot, that like little, like almost like a little. Go on, like a guided forehand almost. Double fault. No, sorry. First serve fault. Second serve. Second serve. Djokovic in trouble. 30-40. 30-40. Alcaraz to get back on serve. As the return goes into the backhand of Djokovic. Alcaraz backhand. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Djokovic in the net. We're back on serve. Man. Hugh Jackman is, like every other Djokovic fan right now, just stressed. 3-2 Nole, but Alcaraz breaks back. Cam is a wizard with words. Passing shots pass. What can I say? I'm a bit of a wordsmith. Okay, anyways. I was so excited by it, I just got confused. All right. How we doing, chat? Sensing danger for Alcaraz? For Alcaraz or from Alcaraz? Every time I plug in my phone, Alcaraz wins. Well, there you go. Well, keep your phone plugged in or something. I don't know. You are the reason. The reason is you. Arian!
Are there any famous celebrities there?
Yes. Chat, who are the celebrities that are there? We've gone through. Hugh Jackman's there. Rami Malek. Who else was there? Anna Kendrick. Who else is there? Bon Jovi. Bon Jovi, but he's not an actor. Dwight from The Office. Jimmy Butler's there, yes. Anybody else? Ben Stiller? I don't think Ben Stiller's there. Barry from accounting. All right, that goes out. Yeah, he's famous in these parts. That goes out by Djokovic and it's 15 love. Virginia Wade's there as well. Nice. Tennis legend. Pat Rafter is there. Yep. All right, first serve was a fault. Second serve. Cam, calm down. $15 love. Backhand to backhand rally. Alcaraz goes wide. 15-0. Darth Vader was there. Wow, that's amazing. I can't believe that. That's incredible. Your mum's there. Oh, cool. Why didn't she take you there? You didn't get invited? That's crazy. 15-0. As the return goes into the backhand of Alcaraz. Backhand now from Djokovic on the stretch. Goes in the nets. 30-15. 30-15. 30-15. Serve again. Chat, should I play Marvel Rivals? 30-15. As the return goes into the forehand of Alcaraz, he crushes it. 40-15. Yes? Okay. Right now? All right, maybe later. 40-15. 40-15. Alcaraz to level this. Remember, Djokovic was up 3 love. As the return goes into the forehand of Alcaraz, he hits a slice forehand winner. That was one of those tricky ones. Break down the whiteboard. Let's have it. Chat, that was a Federer shot, and I'll tell you why. And Djokovic remembers it because he had a flashback. All right. So this is what happened, right? Djokovic is here. Alcaraz is here. No, he's not. Oh, no, I fucked it up. Alcaraz is here. He went to do a drop shot, and he was going to hit the drop shot here, right? So the drop shot was going to be here. He went to hit a drop shot, and Djokovic started running like this because he's like, oh, drop shot, I'm going to start running. But then Alcaraz changed the slice and hit it here. So by the time Alcaraz hit the ball, Djokovic was already here, and he hits it behind him. That's what Federer used to do, like that fake drop shot, like a fake out, where he'd be like, I'm going to hit a drop shot. Oh, I better start running. And then he'd go, I tricked you. It's now a slice. And then Djokovic is like here and like, whatever. Nobody does that better than Federer. But Alcaraz, that's a Federer shot. Alcaraz took that off Federer. He's like, oh, tricked you. Whereas usually the opposite, right? It's like a reverse drop shot. Because when we hit a drop shot, you're usually like, I'm going to hit a really big forehand. No, I'm not. Boop. But because as Djokovic hits a lovely forehand inside out winner, 15 love, it's like, but it's the opposite. It's like, I'm going to hit a drop shot, tricked you. It's so hard to do. I mean, it's hard to hit a drop shot in general, but it's such a it's so fun to watch because it's just like, it's the ultimate, like, cat eats the mouse, right? And that's the lesson for today. Write notes. There'll be an exam at the end of the semester. 15 love. As the return goes out by Alcaraz, 30 love. 30 love. 30 love. As Djokovic serves again. Into the forehand, but it's a let. All right, serve again. There's a fault, second serve. Second serve. Into the backhand of Alcaraz. Return goes long, and it's 40 love. A very cruisy game. 40 love. 40 love. To stay in front. There's a bit of fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the backhand of Alcaraz. Return the backhand of Djokovic. He guides it down the line. Alcaraz gets it back with a slice on the stretch, but Djokovic, easy winner. That's probably the easiest game of the day on serve by Djokovic. And it's 4-3. He regains the lead. Chat, where are we watching from? We've got 7,000 people in the house. Thank you all for hanging out. But where are we watching from? That is my question to you. From your laptop. That's cool. We got Bangladesh, New York, Philippines, India, UK. We got Canada, Georgia, Gotham City. Wow, that's fake. Okay. If you said that in Melbourne, it'd be a different thing, but I wouldn't know about that. Maryland, we've got Ireland, we've got Buffalo, South Africa, we've got Texas, we've got Italy, Malaysia, Cambodia, California, Greece, Houston, London, Cameroon, Nigeria, Vancouver, Saudi Arabia, Maryland, Cyprus, in a bar in Cyprus. Are you on holiday or do you live there? That's awesome. We've got Hong Kong, we've got New Jersey, we've got Manila, Berlin, Denmark, Vegas, Austin, Texas, Utah. We've got Puerto Rico, France, Australia, Ghana, Scotland, Barbados. We've got Louisiana, France again, Seattle, Moscow. We've got Florida, New York, Manchester, Dublin, Los Angeles, Brazil, Ghana. Who are these celebrities? Spain. We've got Minnesota. We've got Pakistan, Dublin, Vermont, Sierra Leone, Nottingham. We've got Indonesia in the house. We've got Chicago. We've got Jamaica. We've got Kuwait. 15 Love Alcaraz. We've got Kazakhstan in the house as well. Romania as well. China. Albania. Poland. All right, return goes into the forehand of Alcaraz, and he's straight to Djokovic, but then he puts away the volley, Alcaraz. 30 love. We've got Milan, Munich, Turkey, Ukraine, Canary Islands. Somebody's on the moon. Wow. That's so funny. I'm on the moon. Okay. A lot of people in Antarctica. I didn't know there were so many people that live there. It's crazy. So many people live there. Do you all know each other? Must be like 20 people that live there. They're all in the chat. 30 love. Backhand volley. Oh no. Alcaraz with the backhand pass. Too good. 40 love. We've got Portugal as well. We've got Chicago. We've got Croatia. All right. As soon as I read one out that says moon, everybody's like, I'll be funnier. I'm going to say Jupiter. Like, no, it's not that funny. I'm going to say Uranus. That's not funny. 40 love. Well, it is kind of funny, but it's not funny. It's only funny when it's not funny. It's kind of funny. It's not really that funny. 40-15. Thank you all for joining us. Appreciate it. You are in for a treat with this match. Also, Chad, I want to ask you another question. What's been the match of the tournament on the men's side? Because we might be watching it right now. But what is the match of the men's side so far that's been the best match so far? 40-30. Alcaraz hits that forehand wide. What's been match of the tournament? Sinner Bublik? Okay. What about match of the tournament? Bublik Paul? Okay. Bublik Paul? That's a popular one. Bublik Paul? Okay. Felix versus Demon? Okay. Zverev versus FAA? All right. There's a bit of fault from Alcaraz. Second serve. FAA Zverev. Okay, Djokovic Fritz. As we're back in return now to the forehand of Alcaraz. Backhand on the stretch from Nole is in, but Alcaraz with a volley win up. All right, 4-4. And Djokovic just doesn't have an answer to that. Alcaraz levels again. Bonzi Medvedev. Okay, I think it's, for me, is that Stefan Edberg's in the house? Legend in the house, Edberg. I think, for me, probably Paul Bublik. Those first 4 sets were great. Yeah, I would say probably that for me. But that's it because we watched it. There's other matches we didn't watch that maybe were better, but that felt like pretty epic to me. The final set let down, though. That was a bit of a letdown. It was just one-sided, but Bublik Paul was pretty fun. Altmaier City Pass? Yeah, that might be. I didn't get to watch that, unfortunately, but yeah, that's probably on the list too, right? As Djokovic says, a fault second serve. So I guess maybe we haven't watched it yet. Maybe the match of the tournament is yet to be happening. Double fault Djokovic, love 15. Love 15. That's his second double fault of the match. All right, love 15. There's been another fault. Second serve. Second serve. He's into the forehand of Alcaraz. Return goes the forehand of Djokovic. Alcaraz backhand. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Alcaraz backhand again. Down the line. That's a beautiful shot. Probably the best backhand he's hit all day. Alcaraz's backhand hasn't been great, but that was spectacular. Love 30. God, this would be such a shame for Nole if he was up 3-love, loses 6-4. God, it just felt like something changed, but Alcaraz said, just kidding. Love 30. As Djokovic serves another fault, he's going to serve and volley as well. All right, second serve. Second serve. Out wide of the forehand of Alcaraz. Backhand of Djokovic into the backhand of Alcaraz. As Djokovic backhand again. Into the forehand of Alcaraz. Djokovic down the line forehand. Alcaraz gets over the backhand. As Djokovic forehand again. Cross court. Alcaraz gets there. Into the forehand of Djokovic down the line again. Alcaraz is there with a backhand. Cross court. Djokovic gets it back with his backhand as now Nole hits a forehand cross court again. Alcaraz is there with slice forehand. Djokovic hits it with a backhand. Backhand to backhand now as Alcaraz slices again. A lot of mixture coming from Alcaraz. We got a forehand now from Djokovic down the middle. Alcaraz there with another slice. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Another backhand from Alcaraz. Djokovic gets a backhand again to the backhand of Alcaraz. Off the tape from Alcaraz. Doesn't go in. 15-30. That was a long rally and Nole is breathing heavy. 15-30. Yeah, Djokovic felt that rally. That was a painful rally. 15-30. Yeah, that was a rough rally. 27-shot rally, yep. All right, 15-30. 27-shot, longest rally of the match. Still a chance though for Alcaraz to take this second set break. 15-30. As Djokovic serves. Into the backhand of Alcaraz. Return goes into the forehand of Djokovic. Alcaraz forehand of the stretch. In the net. All right, 30-all. Now we know what 30-all means for Djokovic. It means that he will hit an ace. Or an unreturnable. Those things both are true. We know that he can do both of those things. Let's see if he does any of those things. Thirty-all. Serve. Into the forehand of Alcaraz. Return goes into the backhand of Djokovic. Alcaraz backhand slice. Into the Djokovic backhand. As Alcaraz runs around the backhand, it's a forehand down the line. Djokovic in trouble. As Alcaraz hits a drop shot. Oh, it's in the net though. That would have been a winner. That would have been a winner. It should have been a winner. Djokovic was nowhere near. And Alcaraz let him off. That should have been a winner. A drop shot would have been, I mean, it didn't need to be that good, really. But Alcaraz's drop shot has not worked today. That was, I mean, Djokovic was like in the front row with Hugh Jackman talking about Deadpool 4 or something. I don't know. What movie's in next? Les Mis 2, Electric Boogaloo or something. I don't know. 40-30. And Alcaraz hit a drop shot and it went in the net. He didn't need to do that good. It didn't need to be that good. He could have hit a regulation forehand. Whose side are you on? I'm on the side of sport. Serve and volley, no volley required. All right, 5-4. Djokovic. He stays in front. God, if Alcaraz loses this set, that drop shot is the reason he lost this set if he does lose it. All right. It doesn't look like it. Yeah. What are you talking about? I'm impartial. Excuse me. I take high offense to that. I am neutral. Because I picked Sinner to win the tournament. So, to be honest, I don't care who wins. Because Sinner, I picked Sinner. I picked Sinner! Yeah, another bad drop. I don't think Alcaraz has hit one good drop shot. Which is one of his best, like that's one of his staples, right? That's one of his shots. Alcaraz hasn't dropped a set at all this tournament. Yeah, that is correct. Sinner is the benchmark, especially on hard courts. Oh yeah, for sure. Alcaraz's missed opportunity is going to come back and bite him. If Djokovic breaks to win this set now, that drop shot at 30-all, I'm blaming it. That's what I'm blaming it. Hey, it's what's that phone? I want that phone. What's that? He's got a flip phone. Where did he get that from? Can I get a flip phone? I want a flip phone. What's his name? I want to say Hank. He's in he's in the movies. What's his name? Chat, come on. Hank Azaria? Yeah. He's in stuff. I don't even know what he's in. What's he in? I want to say he's in an Adam Sandler movie or something. What's he in? What movie is he in? He's in stuff. He's in The Simpsons. Is he in The Simpsons? Oh, he's the voice of Homer. Okay. Good serve, Alcaraz, 15-love. He's the voice of the Homer Simpson. Exact. There we go. And Chief Wiggum. God, chat. I gotta rewatch The Simpsons. God, it's classic. Classic. The amount of hilarity coming out of The Simpsons, so funny. So many classic. Chat, does anyone else still quote The Simpsons? He was in Night of the Museum. That's what I'm thinking of when he's like, "Don't touch it. You're not allowed to touch it." Like that's what I was thinking. He's in that movie. Yeah, no, is he like the Egyptian guy, or he's like the one of the Roman guys or something? I don't know. He's like that. I've seen that. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, he's in that. I knew it was in a comedy. But who quotes Simpsons still? One in the chat if you quote The Simpsons still. Come on now. It's okay. 30-love. As that goes to the net from Djokovic, 40-love. Peak millennial humor is Simpsons. Or Family Guy. Top 5 greatest shows of all time? Oh, yeah. Ah, 40-love. Now, Chris, to level this set. Cam is my cousin. Roy? I thought you were banned from family events. All right, that goes wide by Alcaraz. What are you doing here? You're not allowed to be here. When did you get out? 40-15. Yeah, Mum said you can't come to Christmas. Sorry. 40-15. As we default second serve. Second serve. To level this second set. As the return goes in the backhand of Alcaraz. Backhand now from Djokovic in the forehand of Alcaraz. Djokovic backhand in the net. It's 5-5. Simpsons is Gen X. Okay, fine. Gen X humor, right? You happy? Then millennial humor is what? Rick and Morty? Family Guy? South Park? Is that millennial? All right. 5-5. By the way, Chad, I've never been to a sporting event where they bring food to you. Have you ever been to a sporting event where they've got waiters and waitresses coming to you with food that you ordered? Not like, hey, I got popcorn over here, and you're like, give me one. Like, you're actually sitting there and be like, I would like a snack, and then somebody comes out of nowhere and gives you a snack? I've never been to that. Why? It's because I'm poor, but I can't afford that shit. That's for you got to pay $5,000 for that. But like, has anybody been? Has anyone been there to a Lakers game? They do that. Maybe like work let you go or something. Like they gave you tickets or something. But I've never been to something I've always had to like line up with everybody else and get a beer or whatever, or a hot dog that costs $7 and $700, I should say, because $7 is probably cheap now. Drop shot is good by Alcaraz, but Djokovic gets it. Love by Alcaraz. Goes long, and it's 30-love. It's only in America they do that? Okay. Only in America? Hey, it's Homer Simpson. 30-love. You order through an app? Yeah, I gotta figure it out. 30-love. 30-love. 4-4 rally. That goes down the line. The backhand of Alcaraz. Alcaraz in the net. 40-love. 40-love. I like your glasses. Hey, I like your attitude. 40-love. Djokovic to take the lead again and force Alcaraz to get to a tiebreak. All right, 40-love. As we serve. Into the backhand of Alcaraz. Djokovic goes down the line with the backhand, and Alcaraz forehand goes long. Alcaraz hesitated. He thought his shot was going out. The first shot. He stood there and waited, and then he ended up not getting ready for the next shot. Okay. Oh, how are we doing, chat? How are we on this semi-final day? SW.
In my skybox.
Oh, you hung out in the skybox and you got free food. Nice. Thank you for the $2. Is Spike Lee there? I'm not sure. I haven't seen yet. At a bar in Austin, and I had to order food through the app. Okay. Unfortunately, Nole isn't going to break. All right, if you say so. FAA will beat Sinner. They're just showing Alcaraz's shots today. He's hit a lot of errors, Alcaraz. 13 on the forehand side, 26 errors, 19 winners. So, more errors than winners for Alcaraz in this match, which is not ideal. You want to see my dog? My dog's asleep. People chanting Nole's name? Yeah. They are chanting Nole. Why does Carlos return slow ball with slow ball? Maybe I missed something. What do you mean? When did that happen? Like slice with slice? That's usually a generally good idea. All right, here we go. It's going to be Alcaraz serving to stay in this set. If you're just joining us, Djokovic was up 3-love, and Alcaraz fought back. As he hits a volley winner, Alcaraz, that's smart. He could have left it, But if that goes in, it's embarrassing. So if you're in doubt, chat, if you ever go to the net, here's a coaching tip. If you ever go to the net in singles or doubles and you think the ball might go in, you better hit it. No point in letting it go if it's a 50-50. Because it might go in and then you look embarrassed, right? So always hit it. In doubt, hit it. 15 love. And that one I'll give for free. As a backhand return goes in there by Djokovic, 30 love. 30 love. Serve again from Alcaraz. This tiebreak is going to be something. We've had some crazy second set tiebreaks, mainly with FAA in the last couple of matches, but the second set tiebreak is going to be important. Is going to be very important. It's going to shape the way we look at this match. Ace down the tee, and it's 40 love. This second set tiebreak is going to be very important. Remember the second set tiebreak they played at Wimbledon? How important was that? Remember? Djokovic goes up 2 sets to love. That match is over. And he's got 25 slams now, right? Possibly calendar slam in 23, right? First serve is a fault, second serve. Serve into the front of Djokovic. Return into the front of Alcaraz. Alcaraz in the net, 40-15. We're not there yet, though. By the way, the rules are you're allowed to say tiebreak as long as it's not in the final set, right? That's the rule. That's the rule. It's in the book. You can say the word tiebreak before it happens in the second, third, fourth set. Fifth set, you're not allowed to say that word. They're the rules. Just so anyone who's confused. Because I know people are asking me, like, Cam, you're saying the word. You're saying the word. It's okay. It's okay. We're allowed to say it now. You're just not allowed to say that word in the fifth set. That's the rule. It's okay for now, though. Why is that? I didn't write the rules. You're going to have to ask them. 40-15. Look, don't come to me. I didn't write the rules. 4-4 rally. You got to talk to them. Forehand goes in the backhand of Alcaraz. Backhand from Djokovic into the front of Alcaraz. Djokovic backhand again. Goes in the net. We're going to a tiebreak. 6-6. Who you got, chat? Who is winning this tiebreak? I want it to be one set all because that makes it more interesting. So hey, Tommy Haas. Tommy Haas in the house. Let's go. Probably one of the best players never to make a final of a slam. Tommy Haas. Who's winning it? Novak, Alcaraz. Novak, Alcaraz, Carlos, Novak, Nole, Djokovic, Novak, Djokovic, Carlos. All right. Someone tells me both players are going to get a set point. I don't know. 14-8 win-loss record tie breaks this year for Alcaraz. 8 wins, 12 losses for Djokovic. I'm not making a pick. But I think both players will maybe have a set point. Serve and volley from Djokovic, but it's in the net with a backhand. Alcaraz won love. Djokovic couldn't get to the net quick enough. The return was too strong. All right. Lovely return from Alcaraz. Lovely return. Djokovic just couldn't quite return it. One love. Djokovic's got that look in his face like, shit, I better win this. Otherwise, I'm probably not going to be able to come back from 2 sets down against this guy. Forehand now goes down the line from Djokovic. 2 love. Yeah, this is make or break, right? I know you're going to come at me, chat, and you're going to be like, oh, man, but he's the greatest of all time, Cam. You've forgotten Djokovic. It's Novak Djokovic. You're an idiot. I know. But he 38 years old against Carlos Alcaraz right now in 2025, going down 2 sets to love. Alcaraz will have to play he would have to drop real bad if Djokovic is going to come back and create an historic victory. Alcaraz 2 love. As the backhand return goes in from Djokovic to the backhand of Alcaraz. Djokovic forehand inside out. Alcaraz gets it with the backhand on the stretch. Into the forehand of Djokovic. Alcaraz backhand again to the backhand of Djokovic. Into the Alcaraz forehand as Djokovic just goes with another backhand to the forehand of Alcaraz. Djokovic now having to defend. Backhand to backhand rally. Alcaraz with a slice. Mixing it up. Djokovic with a drop shot. That's very nice. Alcaraz with a slice. Drop shot back. Djokovic puts up a lob. Alcaraz backhand volley in the net. And Nole's laughing. He's like, let's go. That's pretty good. Come on. He's having fun out there despite it being a very high-level match, a high-stakes match. All right, 2-1. That was a beautiful drop shot by Djokovic. And then the lob. I mean, I was expecting Alcaraz to hit that backhand in because he would. All right, 2-1. We're back on serve. As Djokovic serves again. Djokovic serves. A fault. Second serve. Second serve. Into the forehand of Alcaraz. Return goes back into Djokovic. Alcaraz back forehand. Down the line. Djokovic gets on the stretch. Alcaraz. Again to the back into Djokovic. Nole in the net. 3-1. 3-1. Mini break again. 3-1. All right. Mini break again. 3-1. All right, back to Djokovic. Still another serve. 3-1. Serve and volley, but no, it was a fault. Second serve. Second serve. As the return goes into the forehand of Djokovic, down the line of the backhand of Alcaraz. Djokovic backhand. Into the Alcaraz forehand as Djokovic with another backhand. Into the backhand of Alcaraz. Backhand of Djokovic is a drop shot. It's in the net though. 4-1 Alcaraz. 4-1. And Djokovic looks like he knows. God, man. I tell you, Chad, it's kind of emotional watching Nole. Just, like, I don't know, man. 4-1. Like, the look on his face has just got that look of, like, these kids, man. You know, like, God, these guys, they're just not nice. You know, like, he's got that look of, like, you know, can he... I hope he keeps going. 4-4 rally. Alcaraz in the net. 4-2. And he should keep going, right? No, I'm not talking about just this man. I'm talking about in his career, right? He should keep playing. Because it's only Alcaraz and Sinner who are stopping him, right? And his body. They're the only three opponents. His body, Alcaraz, Djokovic. That's it. But they're so consistent and so good that he has to play them. All right, 4-2. All right, Alcaraz with the mini break. It's only one mini break. It's not over yet. And it's Novak Djokovic. For crying out loud, it's Novak Djokovic. You'll forget what he can do. 4-2, Alcaraz serves. Into the backhand of Djokovic. Alcaraz with the forehand drop shot. Djokovic's going to get there and hit a passing shot winner. What did I just say? Did I not just say his name? We're back on serve. 4-3. He put every effort into that drop shot return too. Like, he was lunging for it. And then he had Alcaraz falling to the ground. 4-3. We're back on serve. God, what a pickup. What a pickup. And then then to angle it cross court for a winner. And then the shake of the racket. Okay, belief. Life. 4-3. Djokovic serves. He serves a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Down the middle to the backhand of Alcaraz. Return goes to the backhand of Djokovic. Alcaraz backhand. Into the Djokovic backhand is Alcaraz with a forehand. Again to the backhand of Djokovic. Alcaraz backhand again. Into the Djokovic backhand. Djokovic goes with a forehand now cross court. Alcaraz in the rally. He's got the control. Now Djokovic is making Alcaraz move. And he goes down the line in the net, Nole. 5-3. Man, he was in that rally too. He had Alcaraz running. 5-3, Alcaraz. Just the final shot. He goes down the line. And then Alcaraz knew it too. He's like, good, I was on the run there. Hey, Jimmy! Jimmy's in the house. Jimmy Connors. We'll talk about Jimmy. We're like, where the hell is he? He's right there. He's wearing a suit. He looks all fancy and shit. If I was born in like 1950, Jimmy would have been my favorite. And if the internet was created back then, we'd be streaming Jimmy Connors all the time with no shame. I'd be like, we're watching Jimmy. I don't give a shit. 5-3. Serve goes in the forehand of Alcaraz. Backhand now from Djokovic. Alcaraz backhand on the stretch. Goes wide and Nole holds. But it's still 5-4. 5-4 Alcaraz. Alcaraz, 2 points away from the second. 5-4. Djokovic needs something goatish. That's a new word. I just made it up. You can use it if you want. Goatish. Goatish. Five, 4. Great serve, Alcaraz. Just straight down the tee. 6-4, Alcaraz. To take a 2 sets of love lead against the Great One. All right. 6-4. Alcaraz with a serve. 6-4. He serves a fault. All right, second serve. Second serve. And Djokovic returns it wide. There's the 2 sets of love lead for Carlos Alcaraz, who is looking scary. All right. God, man, that was a chance. Djokovic had the chance there. He was in that set. He was up 3 love, sorry. He's asked for the trainer. The trainer's going to give him a bit of a back adjustment. Man. All right. Carlos leads. Takes 2 sets of love lead. Yeah, it was an opportunity. Would it have mattered in the end if he won the second? But I don't know. But Alcaraz gets the 2 sets of love, and we all know that Alcaraz doesn't lose in 5. So if it does go the distance, you know, it's advantage Alcaraz always. But, yeah, man, that's a shame. I'll tell you the stats anyway, even if it's unlikely, because Djokovic has come back from 2 sets of love down. This is not impossible. It's just improbable. So Djokovic, in his career, when the score is 2 sets, love sets 0-2, I was trying to speak. 7 times he's come back from 2 sets of love down. Last time he did it was against Laszlo Djere here 2 years ago. He also did it against Jannik Sinner at Wimbledon in 2022. He did it against Tsitsipas in that famous French Open final back in 21. He did it against Kevin Anderson at Wimbledon in 2015. He did it also against Seppi. He did it against Federer. In the semifinals, 14 years ago? So, I mean, he's done it against Roger. And he's also did it in Wimbledon in 2005 as well against Lopez. But the problem is he's playing Alcaraz, who doesn't lose from 2-0 up. In fact, if I give you some stats, 54-0 when Alcaraz is up 2-0. No one has been able to beat Carlos from 2 sets down ever in the Grand Slams. In fact, only only a couple of players have been able to get the third set to take a fourth set. So, yeah, no one has been able to come back from 2 sets down against this man. But, yeah, there's only a couple of players that have taken the third, but the fourth set ends up going to him anyway. So, yeah. That is the stats. By the way, US Open just had 52-0. It is 52-0 in main draws. In the qualifying also counts. All right. No, it's only 52-0 in main draws. Because I saw that too. It's 54-0 because my stats are showing the... Oh, sorry, it's saying it's in Grand Slams. This is counting next-gen finals for some weird reason. Oh, no. This is why next-gen finals can't do this format. It's screwing up with the stats. It says 2 sets, 54-0, but then it's saying next-gen finals. Oh, no. Oh, no. What is going on? Hang on, where did the US Open find the extra 2? Because it says here 49-0 in Grand Slams. Where do they find the extra 2? Or 3? I can count. Maybe they counted qualies, I don't know. Anyways, he's never lost from 2-0 up. Ever. You're not helping. Hey, Roy, I thought I told you you're not allowed to go to Christmas. Mum said so. 30-love. By the way, Alcaraz getting confused and standing on the wrong side of the court. 30-love. Strange. As a default, second serve. Second serve. Serving to the backhand of Djokovic. Alcaraz backhand to the backhand of Djokovic. Alcaraz backhand again, the backhand of Djokovic. But Alcaraz hits it long. 30-15. 30-15. All right, 30-15. And Alcaraz serves again. Another fault, second serve. Second serve into the backhand of Djokovic. Alcaraz forehand to the backhand of Djokovic. That's a beautiful shot down the line. Alcaraz gets it back. And then Djokovic hits it straight to Alcaraz's forehand. Now Djokovic in trouble with the backhand. Djokovic now with a slice on the stretch. Goes long. 40-15. Alcaraz too strong. 40-15. 40-15. As we just serve again. Oh, body serve. Djokovic defends himself. 40-15. All right, serve again. As the return goes in the net by Djokovic. 1-love. Alcaraz in the third. All right. Now we do have Sinner versus Auger-Aliassime in 2 hours. 2 hours time. Straight after, well, maybe straight after this match. So stay tuned. I'm going to find who's going to play this final. Cam, do you agree that Alcaraz always plays very close to his opponent's level? I wouldn't say always, but Yeah, Alcaraz, and we saw that, we talked about it at the start of the match, right? But yeah, if you were saying like, I'll reframe that question. Or I'll reframe my answer to the question. Alcaraz plays as good as he needs to play to win. Sometimes. Sometimes he crushes people, but it's very... Like, he was playing so well in the first set, it should have been a 6-2 or 6-1. But he won the set, so it doesn't matter, right? Whereas what we saw with Sinner, when he was like crushing Musetti, crushing Bublik, Alcaraz doesn't do that as much. Whereas Sinner, we've seen Sinner do that a lot. He crushes people, which is scary. But you're right, he does play to the level of his opponent, but like play well enough to win, right? He doesn't. I mean, this match is a bad example because Djokovic, he's playing Djokovic, so he's not just like, oh, I'm just playing a little better than Djokovic. No, he's playing. He has to play really well today. As Alcaraz hit the 4-1 winner 15-0. But you're right. In previous matches, he plays as good as he needs to, you know. But then he also levels up when he needs to, right? Like today. Do you honestly think Felix has a chance? He might get a set if it goes to a tiebreak and he plays phenomenal. But I don't see Sinner losing a set against Felix. They played 2 weeks ago in Cincy and it was 6-love, 6-2. And it was like, ooh. We watched it because everyone's like, oh, watch this one because, you know, Felix has won 2 matches against Sinner and all this stuff. And we watched it and Sinner was just like, you didn't play me last time. I'm different now. Yeah. Sinner's legacy is tainted for doping? No, it's not. It may be for you, but you don't sound like you liked him before that. So I don't know if you... It sounds like you weren't a fan of him anyway. Before all that shit happened. Backhand to backhand rally as that goes out by Alcaraz and it's 40-15. Sinner is more consistent than Alcaraz. Yeah, if I had to draw, I'll draw you a picture, chat, right? I feel like this is a great example of, like, a good example of what it is like to watch these, like, watch this, right? So you got Sinner, right? He'll go like this. Right? That's Sinner. Let's say this is his high, like, this is 100%, right? He'll go, like, he'll start off, and then he'll go like this, and then he'll maintain that, right? And he'll be consistently that high level. Alcaraz, he'll go like this. And it might be higher than this, like here, right? Like, let's say it's high. It might be higher than that, but he also plays like this. Like it does go a little more like he's like, can't be stopped. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, he hit a couple double faults in a row. That's weird. Whereas Sinner, you never see, like once he hits that peak, he just doesn't come down. Does that make sense? That's the best way I can explain what the difference is between Alcaraz and Sinner. Right? You got Sinner and you've got Alcaraz. Now, if Alcaraz can be like this a little bit more, he will be higher. Like his ceiling is way higher than not way higher. His ceiling is higher than Sinner, right? When he's playing his best, it's better than Sinner, in my opinion. But he doesn't play consistently enough. He doesn't reach that level higher, like, you know, consistently. Which is why Sinner's number one at the moment. Does that make sense? $15 love. Azza.
Carlos, the priest Alcaraz, is coming for Sinner.
Thank you, Azza, for the 5. I haven't heard that one before. All right. That's a new one. That's a new one. All right. 15 love as that goes out by Djokovic. 30 love. Professor. Yeah. I'm the professor. Today I'm the professor. Professor Cam in the house today. All right. Jimmy's in the house. Is Jimmy on TV or something today? Because he is looking sharp. Jimmy Connors came dressed to impress. Like, is he here for a reason? Is he doing anything that's like... Is he on the TV today? Does anyone know? Is Jimmy, he dressed to impress. Serve and volley, but the drop volley in the net by Alcaraz. Again, his drop shots are not being on today, Alcaraz. All right, 30-15. He's looking dapper. Maybe he had a sponsored event? Yeah, maybe. Still got great hair, Jimmy, yeah. Yeah, the great Jimmy Connors, that's it. All right, 30-15. First serve is a fault, second serve. As we're back into backhand rally, Djokovic into the forehand of Alcaraz. Djokovic forehand on the stretch. Down the line of the backhand and Alcaraz in the net. 30 all. All right. 30 all. Alcaraz better be careful. I know he might not have ever lost from 2 sets up, but doesn't mean you can start to let Djokovic come back. Because Nole doesn't need that much encouragement to come back and win. And also, if you start to lose momentum, we saw what happened in Australia when Alcaraz started to let it get off the gas a little bit and allow Djokovic back in the match. We saw what happened. This would be a whole nother level, but as that goes, lob over the top of Alcaraz, but it's long by Djokovic. And it's 40-30. 40-30. Yeah, Carl's got to concentrate. 40-30. 40-30. And then an ace. All right. 2-1. Carlos is an alien. Yeah. Carlos is an alien, and what was it? Sid is a cyborg. And that is that is exactly what you nailed it. All right. Love your explanation, your chart, your mathematician of tennis. No, I just can draw. I can draw pictures. I can just draw lines on the board. Alien versus cyborg. Yeah, that's it. Bruce Lee is better than Chuck Norris. Okay. Is tennis faster or slower than 30 years ago? Faster. Oh, no, sorry, slower. Slower. Hey, Bon Jovi in the house talking to people. Who was that giant guy standing next to Bon Jovi? What the hell? Federer for sure. But what about Federer? Is the Terminator versus the Predator? Actually, yes. Yes. Terminator versus Predator. That is exactly what it is. Yes. That is a very... That makes sense. Yes. 2-1. Alcaraz with 2 sets of love lead. Nah, it's not alien versus predator. Because Sinner's not an alien or predator. He is definitely a machine. As that goes wide by Alcaraz on the pass. 15 love. Great movie references, everybody. I see we are a cultured bunch. I appreciate that. Goku versus Vegeta? I don't know about that. I think it's more like an android versus Cell or something. Or Boo versus Android 16 or something. Anyways, backhand. He's got red hair too. As that goes out by Djokovic on the backhand. 15-all. Went for the serve volley tactic again, but this one didn't work. Love. Am I coming to Tahiti? I don't know. Are you inviting me? Or that goes out by Djokovic, 15-30. I would love to go to Tahiti. Do you need to like, what do you need? My passport and stuff? Like, what do you need from me? What information so that you can send me the tickets? 15-30. 15-30. And a bit of serve again from Djokovic. There's a fault. Second serve. Neo versus Agent Smith. Yeah. Oh, double fault from Djokovic. 15-40. Yeah, you can send the tickets to the PO box. Send the plane tickets to the PO box. All right, 15-40. Here we go. 15-40. As he's serving volleys, Djokovic. Alcaraz gets there with a slice around the net, but it's not going in. It goes wide. 30-40. 30-40. 30-40. All right. Serve again. Here's a fault. Second serve. Second serve. Double fault. 3-1. 3-1. 3-1. All right. Alcaraz with a 2 sets of love lead. And a break. Man. Alcaraz a serve. You cannot hide that you want Nole to win. Yep. You got me. You got me. Put me away. Take me away. All right, love 15. Straight sets is disappointing. As a tennis fan who's totally neutral. Love 15. There's been a 4-0 from Alcaraz. That's a winner. 15-0. Yeah, second set was crucial, yeah. All right, 15-0. 15-0. Gohan could finally beat Cell. Yeah, that's kind of like this. Not really, though. 15-0. Mork versus Mindy. That's a Did they fight? I didn't know that was a thing. 30-15. 30-15. Alcaraz go to 4-1. 30-15. Why is this man there? He must retire. Why? There's been a 4-4 rally. Alcaraz 4-hand again at the slice of Djokovic. Alcaraz 4-hand again. Into the 4-hand Djokovic. Djokovic in the net. 40-15. And Nole's legs have just stopped running everything down too. He's just kind of flat-footed. 40-15. 40-15. As Alcaraz serves again. And ace-7-T, 4-1. 4-1. Okay. 4-1. Alcaraz cruising. Nole is good enough to reach semifinals Grand Slam. That's tremendous. Oh, yeah. Yeah. See, that so that is the... If he wasn't making the semis and losing to the same guys, two guys, right? The same two guys. Like, he's made the semifinals of every slam this year, right? So that would technically make you, at least at the slams, the third best player behind Sinner and Alcaraz, right? Because no one besides those two have been as consistent at slams, right? Fritz hasn't, Zverev hasn't, Draper hasn't, right? So he's the third best Grand Slam player. Now, the other tournaments, he doesn't play that many of them. He's obviously won Geneva. He didn't really play much else other than that. He doesn't do as well at those tournaments, but he also doesn't care as much for those tournaments. So how can you think that, he should retire when he's still making the semis and only losing to Alcaraz and Sinner? He's got to think, well, like, I'm still there. He just beat Fritz. He beats Zverev at the French. So again, how can anybody say, he should retire? It's like, but he's still there. Like, he's still in the mix. And he just needs, maybe at this stage, he just needs a little bit of fortune. Maybe one of them loses. Maybe one of them doesn't come out and play that well. And then he might get it. He might get another slam. But he was in that second set. He could have won the second set. But obviously, Alcaraz right now is crazy good. But again, it's like, why should he retire if he's like literally the third best player at slams still? And all he needs is maybe just a little luck. Maybe he needs, Sinner to have maybe he needs Dimitrov to beat Sinner, right? In Wimbledon. And then he makes the final. He plays Alcaraz, maybe it is Alcaraz who wins that. But again, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would this man retire when he's still a very good chance of winning a slam, or at least he's in the... chat, would you say that Zverev and Fritz have a better chance of winning a slam than Djokovic? If you had to pick one of those three, who do you think, if one of those three, who do you pick to win a slam out of those three? If one of them could win a slam, which one are you picking? And don't say none of them, because that's not what I asked. You have to pick. Do you think it's going to be Fritz, Zverev, or Djokovic who could win a slam? Who's most likely? Fritz, Zverev, Djokovic for sure. Djokovic by a long shot. Fritz right now. Djokovic. Nole, Shelton. That wasn't... I did say Shelton. Zverev. Djokovic. So I'm seeing a lot of Djokovic's. Now, you could definitely make an argument for the other two. I'm not saying the other two can't win a slam. But Djokovic is still consistently in the semis, consistently in the mix at every slam. Fritz disappears on the clay, right? So he can't win the French at the moment. Zverev at Wimbledon doesn't usually be there. Also, Zverev sometimes at other slams just completely loses it, right? But Djokovic is there. He's in the mix. But just Alcaraz and Sinner stop him. Only those guys have stopped him this year. And then his body at the start of the year, right? So why would he retire? If only two guys are stopping him. If he was losing to Fritz and Zverev or outside the top 10 players consistently at slams, then yeah, you'd be like, oh man, he had a good run this week, but last time he wasn't there. Oh man. But he every time he plays a slam, he's in the semis, like guaranteed. It's a guaranteed semi-finalist, Why do you think I always pick him to make the semis? Because he always makes the semis. As that goes out by Alcaraz 4-2, Djokovic holds. So yeah, trying to retire Djokovic, why would he retire? Besides wanting to spend time with family, if it's not worth it for him, then okay. But anyone who's saying Djokovic should retire after this performance, you're like, what, a semi of a slam? He should retire? Okay. Then so should anybody else who does anything good in their life at this stage. All right. Alcaraz serving 4-2. Djokovic fans, do you want him to retire? Are you? Because I'm sure, do you think he should retire, or do you want to see him keep going? Because he is still he's still there. Maybe you guys are like, no, we don't want to see him lose like this. those guys are too good now. Let's just move on. Like, what do you want him to play or do you want him to retire? Because at the end of the day, it's like the people that don't like Djokovic are going to tell him to retire. They told him to retire in 2011. So most people are saying he shouldn't. He should stay. Okay. 15 love. Yeah. I don't see why he would retire if he's having good results at slams. Still. Backhand. That's in the net by Djokovic. 30 love. 30 love. We're just not used to seeing him losing over and over again to the same guys. Yeah. I mean, besides Nadal and Federer, but yeah. Not like this. Like when he plays Alcaraz and Sinner, he's the underdog every time now, and that's unusual. We're not used to seeing that. But we're also not used to seeing him like somebody play at 38 years old. I mean, Nadal was the underdog for a lot of matches last year, right? Federer was an underdog for most of the matches he played at the end of his career too, right? Actually, no, Federer might not have been because Federer was still kind of like he was still, but Federer was losing the guys outside the top 10. That was different. So he probably was the favorite still. But Rafa wasn't the favorite when he lost to Zverev. He wasn't the favorite when he lost to Djokovic. He wasn't the favorite when he lost to Hubie last year. As Alcaraz leads 5-2. Again, I think anyone who's trying to retire Djokovic is crazy. Like, it's crazy. Why? Like he's the third best player at slams. If Sinner and Alcaraz don't win, Djokovic is the third pick for sure right now. Maybe some of you want the others to win, but if Alcaraz and Sinner aren't playing a slam and Djokovic is there, people are going to be like, well, it's Novak because he's done it. He knows what to do and he only loses those two guys. All right. Alcaraz, 1 game away from the final. And for this, he missed his daughter's birthday. But every year he must miss his daughter's birthday because every year the US Open is at this time. And it sucks because he brought it up this year, right? And it sucks that he missed his daughter's birthday, but he also probably missed it last year and the year before that and the year before that and the year before that. It's just that maybe his priorities have changed this year. But he made the semis, so it's like, well, I mean, is it worth it to him? That's the question, right? It's none of us to judge. But making the semis of a slam, I mean, it wasn't like a waste of time, to be here. If he had lost to Fritz or he lost in the 4th round, he missed it, and he missed the birthday, that would have been like, that would have been shitty. But again, it's whether or not he thinks it's worth it. But again, I think retiring is crazy at this stage. When he's like one of 3 players still, 3 reliable players at slams, right? Reliable is the word, right? Alcaraz, Sinner, Djokovic are the 3 most reliable slam players. As Djokovic in the net, love 15. Love 15. And Norway serves again. Into the forehand of Alcaraz, but Alcaraz hits it wide. 15-all. 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 Serve again. Into the forehand of Alcaraz. Djokovic forehand down the line of the net. 15-30. 15-30. 2 points away, Alcaraz from the final. 15-30. 15-30. As we had a fault second serve. And he serves a double fault off the tape. Match points, Alcaraz. 1540 to take his spot in another US Open final and possibly play the man that beat him at Wimbledon. Serve out wide to the front of Alcaraz. Djokovic to the volley. Goes wide, and it's Alcaraz in the final again without dropping a set. I mean, we've been talking about Novak lately because he's been, been playing a lot of this match. But man, Alcaraz hasn't dropped a set to the final. That is something. No, he hasn't done that ever before. Djokovic looks content. He doesn't look bothered, which is, I mean, look, he knows that he's playing against two of the greatest players of the next generation. And losing to those guys, there's no shame in that. All right. GG's, there it is. Carlos in the final. Without dropping a set. I'll tell you, chat, depending on what happens in the next match, this guy might be the favorite. I said at the start, if he wins in straight sets and Sinner struggles, unexpectedly loses a set or something, you got to think that Alcaraz is the favorite because he hasn't dropped a set. Sinner's had one match where, at the moment, he's had one match so far that was a little bit weird, and that was Shapovalov, who is an unpredictable player like Alcaraz. We all know Alcaraz can beat Sinner. We've seen that before, but without dropping a set, I mean, is Alcaraz like chat? We talked about this a lot. When we watch Alcaraz throughout the last few years, right? I mentioned the volatility, right? He's up and down, he snoozes, he siestas, and he slow start and whatever. This tournament, he hasn't done any of that. It's been flawless. He's been broken twice, right? And one of those was in that match against Djokovic, but Djokovic, right? If Alcaraz starts playing like this, who beats him? Like he always had all the shots and all the talent, but if he just locked in from start to finish, how do you beat that guy? And we're starting to see that. Like this week, first time probably in any tournament, we've seen Alcaraz just not be bothered. Like besides a tiebreak there, right? I mean, Sinner's going to have to play like he did against Bublik if he's playing Alcaraz. I mean, Sinner's going to beat him? All right. I don't know. Because Alcaraz's best, I think, is better than Sinner's best. And we always just lack the consistency of playing his high level for a long period of time. But if this is the Alcaraz we're going to get, Sinner better bring it. Yeah, Sinner, I mean, look, this whole tournament, Sinner, watch out for sure. Cams and Alcaraz Glazer. Ooh, you got me. Ooh, yeah. How dare you say that about me? I'm so offended by your comments. He should stop joking around and play like this. Yeah, he's barely joked around this. I mean, I don't think Alcaraz has smiled that much during the matches either. He's kept a serious face. He hasn't been, messing about that much. Serious Alcaraz is scary. Yeah, very scary. Djokovic is the third best player on earth at the moment. Yeah. What is he actually ahead of Zverev? No, Djokovic is still he's number 4 in the world, Djokovic, but it's because he hasn't played that much. By the way, Sinner and Alcaraz both have 10,000 points each. Has that ever happened? That two players have that have 10,000 more points? Also, chat, if Sinner does make the final, it'll be for the world number 1 ranking. The winner will be the number 1 and US Open champion. So that is interesting. Again, we've got one more match to get through before we can talk about it. But yeah, that's gonna be something. The world number 1 on the line. Grand Slam glory. I mean, Alcaraz has been in this position before when he played Ruud 3 years ago. where the number one ranking was up for grabs, but that was to be number one for the first time and to win your first Grand Slam. It's a little different now, but a return to number one for Alcaraz, or Sinner keeps it, and another slam. But again, we've got to wait for Sinner hasn't won yet, so let's just wait. Let's wait. I don't want to get too excited and start talking Alcaraz again, but let's just wait. Let's wait before we get too excited. We got to respect Felix. Give him a chance. What a wonderful day this is. Yeah. Great win by Carlos. No, Djokovic wasn't injured. He just got outplayed. He was just being outplayed by somebody who is just starting to get real good. Bold Alcaraz is scary. Yeah, he cut off his hair and he's just a menace. You wanted Joker to win, didn't you? Why? Okay. All right, see you later, Deb. Not sure Norway GOAT ever won a slam without dropping a set. No, Djokovic. I think Djokovic would have won a slam without dropping a set. At least one. I mean, he's got 24, so he probably did once. What if Felix just whoops everyone now? Yeah, that would be incredible. That would be crazy. Yeah, absolute menace. Yep. Djokovic has never won a slam without dropping a set? Okay, that's surprising. But I guess he had to play Nadal and Federer, so maybe not. Okay, that's weird. Who cares, though? He won 24. Pfft. It's semantics, right? Nobody's going, oh, well, that doesn't count. You have to win them all the sets. He still has more than anybody else. So. Alcaraz has only lost 2 service games. I know, right? Crazy. The most points held by number 2 in the world was 11,900. That was Sinner in 2024. Okay. Damn. All right. Well, that might change if Sinner wins today. Was expecting Carlos in 4. No surprise in the final outcome. Yeah. I thought so. I said Carlos in 4 as well. And look, Djokovic could have won the second. There was an opportunity, but he just couldn't keep that break, and then he couldn't, win the tiebreak. Who will get a 10 to 10 first? I mean, ask me when we get to the final. Ask me that on Sunday. That's a good question for Sunday if they both play each other. Because that's going to be a good question on Sunday. I think Djokovic was injured. Nah. Come on. There's no need for that. They'll win 5 each if Sinner wins. Yeah, that's kind of crazy that Sinner's going to level Alcaraz if he wins the title, which we thought Alcaraz, I thought Alcaraz was like miles ahead of everybody, and he was like, setting the pace, but for Sinner to get to 5 and level and be level with him, that would be crazy. That feels like out of nowhere, like so instant as well. But then you look at Sinner like last 2 years and you go, oh yeah, makes sense. But yeah, that would feel like, it doesn't feel like they're that close. It feels like Alcaraz is always like he's 3 ahead, but he's only one ahead. I don't know. It's weird because Alcaraz got a head start, like a 2-year head start almost. I know Sinner's older, but it feels like Alcaraz has had a better, like he's been in the lead on that, and then it's all of a sudden it's 5-0. You're like, how'd that happen? But we have to wait till we even get the final. We don't even know who's playing the final yet. We only know Alcaraz is there. Sinner winning 3 Grand Slams per year. I mean, yeah, if he wins 3 this year, it's good. It's level. And then we go to 2026 level. That'd be pretty wild. That'd be pretty impressive. I have to walk my cats. See you next match. Is that a thing? People walk their cats? That's not a thing, is it? Is that a thing? Thanks for the streams. No worries. Thanks for hanging out. If Djokovic plays next year, he probably only makes 1 or 2 semifinals. How? I don't know, though. Like, how? Like, I don't... How does... What? How? Where did he come up with that math? That doesn't make sense. And I'll tell you why. Because Djokovic hasn't looked bad before the semis, has he? I mean, maybe he loses the Alcaraz in Australia and that would have changed things, but it feels like Djokovic hasn't been tested before he plays Sinner and Alcaraz. Like, they're the only 2 guys that have pushed him. No one else before that is really... Yeah, he's dropped sets, but he hasn't been like last year, he was in way more trouble more often, it felt. Like against Popper a few times, and then obviously Poppy beat him. You know, I think Runa or Hurkacz might have had him on the ropes a little bit, Djokovic as well. But this year it felt like Djokovic, until he played Sinner or Alcaraz, he didn't really look like he was bothered. Even against Fritz, he was up 2 sets of love before Fritz got a set, right? So Djokovic went 20-4 this year in Grand Slams. Basev already won the first set against him. Fario won the second set against him, but again, it never felt like he was in trouble. He beat Mahach, he beat Lehechka. Alcaraz in the quarters of Australia was in the lead before he wasn't. At the French Open, he went to the quarterfinals and he beat Zverev. He was down a set, came back to win. Zverev's the only one I think really that and Fritz, but they still lost in 4. And then Sinner obviously beat him in the semis. And then he lost the second set against Muller, but he wasn't in trouble. Demonor won the first set against Djokovic in Wimbledon, but then lost in 4. Caboli was pretty competitive in the quarters of Wimbledon, but again, never felt like Djokovic was out of it. And then this week he lost 3 sets before this match. And none of those... I mean, he lost the second against Norrie, but then still won 2 and 3. He lost the first against Schreider and won 3 and 1 in the end. And then Fritz won the third, but it was a consolation. It felt like a consolation prize. So I don't know where you're coming up with like, oh, Djokovic won't... Why would he... 1 or 2 next year? I think it's at least 2 minimum next year. I mean, there's nothing showing that Djokovic was struggling against anybody else other than Alcaraz and Sinner, which, welcome to the party. Everyone struggles against them. He should face Alcaraz or Sinner in the quarters. Well, that's not going to happen because he's number 4. So that won't happen, right? Unless he doesn't play for the rest of the year and he drops points from Shanghai, then maybe in Australia he comes in at number 5 or 6. But I don't want to see Djokovic play Alcaraz or Sinner in the quarters. I don't want to see that. I'd rather it be the semis. Because what? You want to see them play like Djokovic versus Sinner in the quarters, and then what? Winner plays who? Fritz? Like, I don't want to see Sinner versus Fritz semifinal. I'd rather see a Djokovic versus Fritz quarterfinal. Winner plays Sinner, right? I'd rather see that than having, because again, Djokovic Sinner in the quarters has not been competitive. You know, they haven't played a competitive match. This match here, right? You really want to see Alcaraz versus Djokovic in the quarters? if this is what the result's going to be. Why wouldn't you want Djokovic Zverev, which is way more competitive quarterfinal? Why wouldn't you want Draper Djokovic to see what that looks like? I don't want it to be. Why would you want it to be a quarterfinal? Unless you think Djokovic has a better chance in the quarters, maybe. I don't know. But I don't want to see Djokovic. I want to see Djokovic avoid these two guys until as late as possible. Because the later it is they play, the more chances there are that someone's going to lose, right? That they don't, for Djokovic, there's more chance that, the more matches between him and Sinner, the more matches Sinner has to win. There might be a Dimitrov match, right? Djokovic is slightly better than Fritz. No, I still think Djokovic is ahead of. I think it goes Sinner, Alcaraz together, not in order, but whatever, and then Djokovic, and then it's like Fritz, Zverev, Draper, and Shelton. I think that's sort of Djokovic is still on an island on his own. He's not good enough to beat Sinner and Alcaraz consistently, but he's better than the guys below him. He hasn't lost to Fritz. He's beaten Zverev, right, this year. We haven't seen him play Shelton or Draper, which I really want to see, but they're both injured, so I don't know if we will. But I still think that he beats them right now. Draper and Shelton, if they could get a crack at Djokovic in Australia, we'll learn a lot, right? We'll learn. We'll find out whether or not those guys, because then if they start beating Djokovic, that's different, right? Whereas I think Zverev and Fritz just have that scar tissue, right? They have been beaten up by Djokovic so many times that they just remember Djokovic 2021, 23, 2015. They psych themselves out, I think, a little bit. Whereas, guys like Shelton and Draper don't have baggage, So I really want to see them play him to see, then we'll get a good picture of okay, well, is Djokovic beating Sinner, Zverev and Fritz because of his reputation of the past matches, or is he better than them? Because if Draper and Shelton can't beat Djokovic either consistently, because I know they played once, right, Shelton. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see that. And we won't see it until the end of probably next year because Djokovic won't play. But we'll get a better picture of where Djokovic is at when he plays them. As a Nole fan, I'd like to see him retire. Why? I don't get it. I doubt Djokovic will win a slam now. I mean, again, if he doesn't, it's hard because you got to beat Alcaraz and Sinner to get a slam, right? But I wouldn't say Djokovic can't win a slam because there's no guarantee that Sinner and Alcaraz win everything from now on. Yes, they've been winning everything since the start of last year, but I still think Djokovic is there. And if Djokovic hangs around long enough, a year or two, another 12 months, maybe there's a slip. Maybe Fognini beats Alcaraz at Wimbledon and then Sinner lost to Dimitrov and then it's Djokovic who wins, right? I mean, those guys haven't won every set of every tournament before they play. You know what I'm saying? Djokovic just needs Dimitrov not to get injured and that Fognini ends up beating Alcaraz instead of losing the first. You know what I'm saying? If those things are happening, Djokovic's got to think, well, if Alcaraz keeps winning every set until he plays Sinner and Sinner keeps winning every set until he plays Alcaraz, then maybe he goes, oh, those guys aren't even looking like losing, so where's my chance? But I don't know. I still think Djokovic has a chance. I still think he's in the mix, and those guys haven't been bulletproof. They haven't lost yet, but they haven't been bulletproof. They're not unbeatable in sets. They are definitely unbeatable in matches, but not when it comes to you know what I'm saying? Djokovic has got to hold some hope in that they're not, they're not perfect, right? Yet. Maybe this tournament shows that they are, and then forever on they never lose. Stop coping. You're a member and you're coming at me. Hello? Any way to find good bars in London to watch the US Open? No idea. Your fascination with Novak is overboard. By the way, I'm not talking to you. Anyone who's like coming at me be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the Djokovic fans. So if you're not a Djokovic fan, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you and trying to convince you. You guys do what you want. I'm talking to the Djokovic fans who are like, oh man, I think you should. Someone said, I'm a Nole fan. I think you should retire. And I'm talking to him and saying, hey man, don't give up. He's still there. I'm not talking to you. You don't like Djokovic. I'm not talking to you. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm talking with the Djokovic fans about the ones who are thinking, oh, maybe he should hang it up. It's like, no, why would he do that? He's still number 3, in Grand Slams. At least number 3. I'm not trying to convince the people that are like, he's the worst of all time. It's like, I'm not talking to you. AO 2026 could be a good one for Nole. He still has a good level there. Yeah, look, Wimbledon and Australian Open are still, I think Djokovic still believes he can do something there. When Nole's gone, we'll miss him. Yeah, 100%. Djokovic is clearly number 3, but slowly will erode with age. Yeah, but until I see Fritz and Zverev or Draper and Shelton or somebody else beat Djokovic and stop him from playing Alcaraz and Sinner, then I'm going to keep saying that Djokovic has got a chance. Do you think Nole will play the ATP Finals? Nah. I want him to because I want to see him play Draper. I want to see him play Shelton, but I don't think he will. I think he'll play. He's playing in Greece at the end of the year, and that'll be it. He might play. Maybe he plays Shanghai. Oh yeah, and he's going to play the 6 King Slam. But I don't think he's going to play the ATP Finals or Paris or anything else. He's not playing Beijing. He's not on the list for that, or Tokyo. He's not playing Labour Cup. He's got 6 King Slam after Shanghai, and then he'll play Greece at the end of the year. But I think he's only playing Greece because the Greece tournament came about because it got moved from Serbia, right? So I think that license, that flow, like he's playing that as if it was home, like it was supposed to be Serbia, but Greece are playing. So you know what that means? You know what I'm saying? Like he's playing that event not because he it's his brother. Does his brother run that tournament? Like he's got his brother has the license, and it's now gone to Greece. And is his brother running that tournament? Like that's the venue, but it's going to be Belgrade eventually. So he's kind of playing that as a home tournament, I guess. It's in a weird way. Does that make sense? Am I making any sense? I don't know if his brother, his brother, because I know that they moved from Serbia because they were doing some renovations to Belgrade, and maybe they're waiting for that to finish. That's why they went to Greece. I'm not sure why they went to Greece, but I think that's why he's playing that. That's why it seems weird that he's playing that, but it's not really because it's like connected to a tournament that he would have played if it was around. I think it's something like There's some connection. I don't know. Get out the red string and put on a tinfoil hat. There's a connection. It's all connected. His brother's the tournament director. There you go. It's not that hard then. There you go. Is Vida still with Nole? No. It was in Belgrade and got moved to Athens because of a disagreement with the Serbian president. Oh, okay. Yes. But then, So Ming, they basically just grabbed all the people that work at that tournament, they grabbed it and they just moved it to Athens. So so his brother's still the director and all that stuff. They just moved, the license, they just moved it to a different venue for now. Is that what happened? Kind of like what they did with Bosnia. Then they went to Bosnia for 1 week or one tournament, right? So if they didn't have a disagreement, it would have been in Serbia and he would have played it. Is that where we're at? Is that that's the connection? By the way, I made a video about Sinner predictions, so go watch that. I make those videos so I don't have to repeat myself. So if you want to go find out what I said, go watch the video. So Big Frog, go and watch the videos. I made a video about it. Stop spamming. Please. I'm not 100% to be honest. Okay, well, we'll work it out later in the year. But he's playing that. We got about 45 minutes till the next match, by the way. So it's kind of like biding time until we get to the second semi. Just waiting for the US Open to end to watch other players again. Yeah, well, it's not my fault that Runa lost. Why did you come at me for? I didn't make Runa lose. I wanted to win. Why did he lose? Give me answers. Why did he lose? Would Tiafoe become a title contender if he beat Djokovic? No, because you got to beat Alcaraz and Sinner to become a title contender. Beating Djokovic is great. Like, you know, it's a great achievement, but I think beating Djokovic doesn't mean you're going to win a slam. You got to beat Sinner or Alcaraz to be considered a serious chance. Because you might beat Djokovic, but then you got to play Sinner. You know. Whereas maybe if it was 2023 or 2022 or 2021, yeah, you beat Djokovic, you put yourself in that conversation. But I think if Tiafoe or anybody beat Djokovic, it would be a very nice win. But you have to beat Sinner and Alcaraz right now to be a serious threat. That's why when Draper beats Alcaraz at Indian Wells, we're all talking about Draper being a slam champion, right? We're like, oh, what could you? Yeah. If you beat Alcaraz at Sinner, that's where that's when people are going to take you super serious. But yeah, look, if you beat Djokovic, obviously, if Tiafoe did that, it would be pretty amazing, and it would be a great win for him. But it wouldn't automatically put him in like favorites for the Australian Open. Oh my God, it's a puppy. Hello. Hello. Look at this puppy. Look at this puppy. Hey. Hey. What's up? What's up? Where you going? Where you going? Where you going? Where you going? Hey. Sorry, I haven't checked the super chats. My bad. Way. Alright, we're gonna get out of here in a second anyway, because we got 30 minutes and I'm 40. We got like an hour to the next match. All right. Anonymous.
LFG Carlos, I am so freaking happy for the dude. So many losses he has received against Noel, especially on hard courts. Vamos, Carlos. Thanks, Cam.
Nice. Thank you, Anonymous, for the 5. Sean.
If Sinner wins us Open, he was match point away from calendar slam. Let's appreciate history in real time.
Yeah, I come on. I know, yes. I said this the other day. Somebody said the exact same thing. If Sinner wins the French, technically, yes, he would have won all 4. But it's like, well, does he play Wimbledon the same? Does he play the US Open the same with that? The pressure, like, look, we saw Djokovic, right? He won 3 in a row and he got to the US Open, and in the final in 21, he didn't look like himself. The whole world, the whole expectation, everything was on his shoulders and he just couldn't. And he's the greatest, right? Serena goes to the US Open, gets to the semis, and then crazy unexpected loss, right? When she had to walk to the final. So it's impossible to think that if Sinner had won the French Open and Wimbledon, that we would be here right now going, well, he's definitely going to win the final, right? Like, it would have been a whole nother thing. It's coming in. It's not easy, obviously, coming in anyway with the expectation, but like, come on, it's not that simple, because it would have been totally different. We would have had this week would have been a totally different week for Sinner had he have won the 3 slams in a row. Totally different. Even Wimbledon would have been different had he have won 3 in a row going to Wimbledon. That would have been a totally different situation, because he would have been going in trying to win 4 in a row, which hadn't been done much as well, right? So we can't just be... It's not that simple. It sounds simple, though, because you're like, oh, well, he was 1 point away. What do you mean? But he would have gone in with a totally different pressure. Coming in here, the pressure is to win 3 in a row, 3 out of 4, right? Back to back here. Like, the pressure's not the same as if you came in with 3 slams in a row, trying to win 4 in a row. Like, that's not... You know what I'm saying? So it's not that simple. Because people do that with Djokovic as well. You know, Djokovic 23. He was 1 point away from making, 1 set away, whatever. Yes, but also, like, we saw what happened in 21 when he was actually had a chance. The pressures were like, it's you know what I'm saying? It's totally different. That's why it hasn't been done for 50, 60 years. Right. Cam, did you know there is a Sinner sunscreen commercial? That's funny. Thoughts about the Labour Cup lineup? I think the Labour Cup is going to be great. I'm excited. I can't wait to watch it. We love Labour Cup. We watch it all every year. We've been watching Labour Cup ever since I started the channel, so I'm pumped. Can't wait for Labour Cup. Do you Botox in forehead? Shh. No. Next question. In 2019, Federer reached the final of the French semi-final of the French Wimbledon final, quarterfinals US. Yep, cool. Cam, Djokovic should retire before everybody can beat him. Nah. He should keep playing. Am I going to order food? It's 8 a.m. No. Can FAA get a hot and push Sinner? We'll find out. We'll see. We will find out. The great Roger Federer won it 5 times in a row. Yeah, no one's ever done that, or may never do that. US Open's so hard to win. The Six King Slam next is on. It's on Netflix. It's in the middle of October, so it's in like about 6 weeks. It's a shame. Pretty sure Demon would have beaten Sinner. I'm Australian. I know that's a lie. Do you think Felix should serve and volley? He needs to do everything he can. He needs to be Carlos Alcaraz. He needs to be Alcaraz. So whatever that means. US Open is almost impossible to defend nowadays. Yeah, it's so tricky. Because it's the end of the year and it's impossible. I mean, it's no surprise that it's only been ever won 5 times at most in the men's side in the Open era. Novak is GOAT, but 0 final as well. Yeah, but 4 semi-finals at 38 is pretty crazy. Do you think Felix should even turn up? Yes. Because I want to watch a semi-final. Do you honestly see anyone other Wait, why are you spamming? Why am I answering your question? Stop spamming. I don't. Hey, Bevan. Thanks for becoming a member. Appreciate it. Welcome. I'm going to Athens next week. I should have asked about the tournament. Yeah, go ask. Get some insight for us. All right. So what we're going to do, I was going to continue this conversation and talk about the next semifinal. The next semifinal starts in about 45 minutes, but we'll keep it going. I'm going to go get a snack, but then we're going to come back and watch semifinal number 2. So jump on over here and talk amongst yourselves, and we'll be back in probably about 5-10 minutes to watch our second semi. It starts in about 45, so we've still got some time, but we can shoot the shit over there instead and kickstart that. But we already know one player is already in the final. That is Carlos Alcaraz, 6-4, 7-6, 6-2. He beats Novak Djokovic for the first time on a hard court, and he closes the gap between him and Djokovic in their head-to-head. 5-4 now in favor of Djokovic. But we've got to find out who's going to play. Is it going to be Sinner again? Is it going to be FAA for the first time in a final of the Grand Slam? We'll find out next.